don't think you all understand who I am. I mean, I've always been a straight-A student.
Have you been drinking?
I had a drink. I am an outstanding mother to my son.
It's her day to pick up the kid, but it doesn't always happen. 1 or 2 days a week, maybe she gets him.
Go back inside. Jesus.
Do you need Jesus right now?
I excel at everything.
She hasn't worked for over 2 years. I mean, she was always calling to borrow money, and it's been like 2 years since she got it.
Babe, I had no idea.
Jesus Christ.
Well, hello there, my little true crime junkies. If you've watched my last 2 videos, you've seen that there was some hubbub in regards to the Miranda rights read to Sarah Boone. Let me put it this way. Her attorney is jumping on the whole Miranda rights thing to try to get all or some portions of her interrogation taken out. Because as we know, she was a hot mess during the interrogation and said way too much. Warning card. This is what side 1 of the Miranda advisement says. You have the right to remain silent. Do you understand? Anything you say may be used against you in court. Do you understand that? You have the right to an attorney before and during questioning. Do you understand? If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed for you before questioning if you wish. Do you understand that? We know when they were right here, they didn't give any Miranda advisements. But they had just arrived on the scene. There's no reason for them to believe that they should be arresting her or holding her. They haven't reached that point yet. So no, they're not going to read Miranda's. I want to listen to the car interview portion.
Sarah, I know you have talked to some deputies. I know we had a very brief conversation just to reiterate what you told that deputy. But like I was explaining, I would like to get a more further understanding of what happened last night and ask you more detailed questions. I am going to read you your rights, but it's just because that's how we do things. Okay. So you do have the right to remain silent. Okay. Do you understand that? Yes. Okay. Anything you say may be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer before and during questioning without charge. If you cannot afford a lawyer and want one can be provided for you before questioning without charge. Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to talk to me?
No.
Do you understand what I just read you?
Yes.
Okay.
So she did read the card to her, and she did say, "Do you understand?" twice. In the interrogation room, she only said, "Do you understand?" once. Okay. So here's the deal. I was actually going off of some forms earlier that I had looked up, and then I found some links other people had sent me. And because several of you guys were sending me links, you have to be super careful because there are 2 Orange County Sheriff's Office that keeps popping up. There's one out of California and there's one out of Florida. We need Florida. The Orange County, California seems to be the one that everybody's sending me links from. I mean, it's real easy to make that mistake. Literally nowhere on some of these documents, you have to go in and really look for what state the forms are coming from. It's crazy. So, yeah, I even started recording and then realized I was reading stuff off of California. So we're going to stop that. And I'm going to go, I have found some links in the state of Florida. Let me show you guys this really quickly. So this is a site here where they have a lot of forms and uniform and equipment. I mean, all kinds of stuff from the Orange County Sheriff's Office. And I'm going to weed through this with a fine-tooth comb. And we're going to come back and discuss this more, I guess, more closely. But one thing I wanted to read to you guys from this specific form is the following. This is the detention, arrest, and search procedures. It says interview and interrogation of suspects. Deputies must inform a suspect of their constitutional rights, which is Miranda warnings, prior to conducting a custodial interrogation. Again, custodial, in custody. These are key words we need to be paying attention to. Generally, a deputy is not required to inform a suspect of their constitutional rights in the following scenarios. When an ordinary traffic citation is issued, when a deputy is conducting a field sobriety test, when a person approaches a deputy and states that he or she wishes to confess a crime, when a deputy is engaged in general on-the-scene interviewing to determine the basic facts surrounding a crime, or during other general interviewing of citizens as part of the fact-finding process. And E, when an arresting deputy does not wish to question a suspect. Procedure for informing a suspect of their constitutional rights. The deputy shall read the exact wording. Now, it does say exact wording from the constitutional rights form, which, by the way, when I click this, this is what pops up. Very frustrating. I don't know. It's the wrong link, obviously. The deputy shall ask whether the suspect understands his or her rights and attempts to have the suspect sign the form. The deputy shall ask whether the subject understands his or her rights and attempt to have the suspect sign the form. The deputy shall indicate in the arrest report that the suspect was informed as required. Deputies shall inform a suspect of their rights before each interview and re-interview, which is why she read them in the car and again at the police station. Waiver of constitutional rights. Now, here's where this is the part that we're thinking might be brought in as far as her understanding things. There was a mention somewhere that she signed a form where she was waiving her rights. I'm going to figure out where that is. If you guys remember where she said that, please let me know. I want to say it was in the car. Under waiver of constitutional rights, it says, after having been informed of their constitutional rights, a suspect may waive his or her right to remain silent and or his or her right to counsel. Deputies shall make a clear record of any such waiver. A suspect may withdraw their waiver of rights at any time. In such a case, the deputy must cease interrogation until an attorney is present and the suspect consents to resuming the interrogation. If the suspect makes an ambiguous reference to counsel, e.g., maybe I need a lawyer, the deputy may continue questioning without asking for clarification. However, the deputy may choose to ask the suspect for clarification. So that's kind of open-ended, isn't it? If the suspect clarifies that he or she wants a lawyer, the deputy must stop the interrogation. If the suspect clarifies that he or she does not want a lawyer, the deputy may continue questioning the suspect. If the suspect makes an equivocal or ambiguous reference to stopping the interrogation, e.g., I don't know if I want to talk anymore, the deputy may continue questioning him or her without asking for clarification. However, the deputy may choose to ask the subject for clarification. The deputy must stop the interrogation if the suspect clarifies that he or she wants to end it. The deputy may continue the interrogation if the suspect clarifies that he or she is agreeable to it. So that's the wording that they have there. I know it's kind of brief. I'm probably going to be able to find some more once I go through these documents. I will be going through them with a fine-tooth comb when I have more time. All right. Now, with that being said, now let's go back to the car interview. Let's go over here and look at this really quick. This is now see, this is the seal of Florida. Just making sure, right? This is definitely the seal of Florida. Okay. Orange County Sheriff's Office. Also, Orange County Sheriff, Florida, all of their stuff is white and green. They use this green. So if that helps any. It says detention, arrest, and search procedures. So let's look at this really quickly. Because I wanted to read more about what they were allowed to do on scene. So they have a definition in here under arrest that says, arrest is to deprive a person of his or her liberty by legal authority. taking custody of another to bring him or her before a court of proper jurisdiction. Consensual citizens encounter is when a deputy engages a citizen in conversation with the citizen's consent. The deputy has no reasonable suspicion or probable cause that the person is involved in criminal activity. The citizen is free to summarily withdraw his or her consent, ignore the deputy's questions, and walk away. Now, I could understand where when you're in a situation where there's a dead person inside your home, that maybe you don't feel like you can do such a thing. That's all be fought out in court between the attorneys. Now let's talk about the search warrant. She gave them verbal consent to do what they needed to do. They never frisked her. Now there's another thing called a field stop, and it says temporary detention based upon the reasonable suspicion that the subject has committed, is committing, or is about to commit a violation of law. The detention is to investigate the suspicious circumstances and ascertain the person's identity. I think this refers to when they ask somebody to get in the back of their car without handcuffing them. And, many times you'll hear them say, I'm not detaining you or anything. It's just, it's cold outside. Or I've heard that before on traffic stops and things where if they put somebody in the back of the vehicle before arresting them or something, they're like, let's just get out of the road for your safety and my safety. Let's get you out of the road while I ask you these questions or something like that. Right? Okay. They didn't do that with her though. And when they did bring her into a vehicle to talk to her, they did read her rights. Now, probable cause. We need to understand what probable cause. Again, I'm just going through these definitions because I feel like I know you guys could look this up yourself, but I think it's important for us to just kind of revisit probable cause. Facts and circumstances within a deputy's knowledge and of which he or she has reasonably trustworthy information sufficient in itself to warrant a person or reasonable caution to believe that an offense has been or is being committed. It is not necessary that the deputy possess knowledge of facts sufficient to establish guilt, but more than mere suspicion is required. So if you think about it, when you're first on scene at a crime scene, such as Sarah's apartment, you might have mere suspicion, but you may not have probable cause. Okay, let's define reasonable suspicion. Knowledge sufficient to induce an ordinarily prudent and cautious deputy to believe criminal activity is at hand. It must be based on specific and articulable facts with rational inferences from those facts reasonably warrant intrusion. There are three basic scenarios where deputies contact citizens to gather information or take law enforcement action. You have consensual citizens encounter, investigatory field stop, and an arrest. Okay, so let's go here. A field stop is not something that we have to worry about here. It says deputies shall not temporarily detain any person longer than is reasonably necessary to investigate the suspicious circumstances and verify identity. Consistent with LB 96-17, a deputy may not arrest a person simply for refusing to identify herself. The temporary detention shall not extend beyond the place where it is first made or the immediate vicinity of thereof. I apologize if I'm sniffling, you guys. I started sneezing when I started this recording. It's not good. Then they talk about what an arrest is. If after the onset of the investigatory field stop, a deputy has probable cause to believe the detained suspect has committed a criminal offense, a deputy may make an arrest. If no probable cause for arrest exists after a deputy conducts an inquiry into the circumstances prompting the temporary detention, the deputy shall release the person. That is exactly what happened to Sarah when they did not arrest her on site there at the crime scene that day. Arrest without warrant. A deputy may arrest a person without a warrant if they have probable cause to believe that a person commits a misdemeanor or felony crime in the presence of the deputy, or a person has committed a felony crime. A person has committed one of the following misdemeanor crimes, which we're not going to get into. Domestic violence. Well, I guess we should get into this one. Let's open some of this up. Let's just keep on diving. Good Lord, I ain't got nothing else to do. Okay, I want to read this part. It's under preliminary investigations. Uniformed law enforcement deputies are responsible for initial responses and conducting preliminary investigations. Preliminary investigations begin when personnel are dispatched to the call. While responding to the scene and upon arrival, personnel must observe conditions, events, and remarks concerning the incident. Responding sworn personnel shall apprehend the suspect if possible. Responsible personnel shall locate and identify any victims or witness. Responding personnel shall interview victims, witnesses, and complainants. In this case, the complainant would have been Sarah because she made the 911 call. Okay, here we go. Number 5, responding sworn personnel shall interview any and all suspects in an attempt to identify the perpetrator in accordance with 11.1.0, which we're fixing to look at. When a suspect is detained and a deputy contacts an on-call detective for response, Miranda warnings will not be given. All right, let me go over here to, again, we're under the Orange County, Florida Sheriff's Office Criminal Investigation Procedures Manual. Jump to this link real quick. The purpose of this policy is to confirm that specialized units are called out by deputies in uniform manner when needed, thereby providing for professional and thorough investigation of cases. It is the policy of the agency to provide efficient and timely response of specialized units. Authorization to call out a detective or specialized unit must be made by a supervisor. Okay, B. When a suspect is being detained and a deputy contacts an on-call detective for response, the Miranda warning will not be given. Assertion of the Fifth Amendment right to counsel precludes further questioning by law enforcement personnel. Good gracious, I could spend all day in this document. Look at y'all, these things are huge. Responding personnel shall protect the crime scene. Responding personnel shall arrange for the collection of evidence and contact forensics. Particularly complex and or serious cases may require detectives to respond immediately and conduct an immediate follow-up investigation. Uniformed patrol supervisors are authorized to call detectives to a scene. Okay, here we go. Interviews, interrogations, and Miranda warnings. Interviews and interrogations. Suspect interrogations shall be conducted in accordance with the established state and federal law to verify that the suspect's civil rights are not violated. No attempt will be made to obtain confessions or statements by force, coercion, threat, or promise. Florida laws of arrest and interrogation do not distinguish between adults and juveniles. Investigating deputies shall verify the suspect is not subjected to unusual long periods of incommunicado interrogation. They do not deny the suspect necessities such as water, food, or use of toilet facilities. They do not subject the subject to physical or mental abuse or the threat thereof. They do not subject the suspect to an overly intimidating atmosphere. The suspect needs to be informed that the interrogation is being recorded. Miranda warnings. All persons undergoing a custodial interview shall be advised of Miranda warnings. Juvenile interviews, blah, blah, blah. We're not worried about that. Miranda warnings shall be fully read from the agency-issued card. Whenever possible, the reading of the Miranda warnings and the interrogation will be recorded. The suspect shall be advised of the names and authority of the interrogating deputies or detectives and the nature of the matter in question. Okay, waiver of rights, because we do believe she had put her waiver in. The burden of proof is on the state to establish that the suspect has waived his or her rights under Miranda. Whenever possible, the waiver should be recorded or obtained in writing. We've got recordings. But we also believe she signed something as well. Once recorded or the waiver form is executed, it becomes evidence and shall be treated as such. Once the suspect indicates an intention to invoke the right to counsel or silence, interrogation into the particular offense will cease. Suspect witness statements. A custodial suspect and defendant statements must include the Miranda warnings prior to questioning. All audio and video recorded statements, regardless of quality, are official documents and shall be treated as such. Audio or video recorded statements will only be transcribed at a supervisor's direction. When a transcription is authorized by a supervisor, the transcript will be completed by personnel trained to use Axon Auto Transcribe in accordance with TV 23-2, or the transcript may be outsourced to a transcription service company. The original audio or video will be stored digitally in accordance with agency policy. Deputies using personal recording equipment are not exempt from this general order. If the statement is handwritten by the suspect or defendant or the witness, the statement shall become part of the case file, with the original being forwarded to the state's attorney's office if being filed or if an arrest is made. Interview rooms. Access to interview rooms to conduct an interview shall be limited to sworn personnel identified by law enforcement credentials. Based on operational needs, other personnel may assist in the interview room with approval from a supervisor or lead detective. Unless extenuating circumstances exist, no more than 2 interviewers should be in the interview room at one time. Interviewers should verbally identify themselves for audio recording purposes and/or in the investigative report. Whenever possible, interviews of a suspect or person of interest shall be recorded in their entirety through the use of audio and/or video recording equipment. Interview rooms will be equipped with chairs and tables. Suspects or persons of interest should be searched for weapons or other contraband prior to being placed in an interview room, if permitted by law. When appropriate, deputies detectives shall safeguard a detainee's personal property by securing it in a lockable storage container, file cabinet, or safe. Deputies or detectives shall not restrain subjects by securing them to fixed items in the interview room. Persons being interviewed shall be provided reasonable access to water and bathroom facilities. Suspects, detainees, prisoners, and persons of interest shall be monitored at all times by the deputies or detectives or his or her designee. A security inspection of the interview room for weapons or contraband shall be conducted by the interviewing detective. Okay, this is, oh God, you guys. I'm wondering now if him having that gun on his body during the interrogation in the room is going to be a problem. It says a security inspection of the interview room for weapons or contraband shall be conducted by the interviewing detective or his or designee prior to and after the interview. Multiple subjects wanting to be interviewed are to remain separated prior to being interviewed. Exceptions to this may be approved by a supervisor or a lead detective for operational or investigative needs. Okay, then it talks about juveniles and adults that are detained or under arrest shall be held and interviewed separately. Based on the totality of circumstances, detectives should consider whether firearms or non-lethal weapon systems should be carried in the interview room with a suspect or person of interest. So they didn't find her to be a threat. So they could say, well, we didn't find her to be a threat, so we wore guns in there. Detectives carrying a firearm in an interview room shall carry the firearm in an approved agency holster, which he had on. Detectives conducting an interview of a suspect or person of interest shall be monitored by an armed law enforcement officer for officer safety and/or prisoner security reasons. That's all it says about him wearing a gun. He can wear it. Based upon the totality of circumstances, the detective should consider whether firearms should be carried in the interview room with a suspect or a person of interest. So it kind of leaves it open there. That's the part I wanted to read on there.
Hey, Sean, what if I wasn't read Miranda?
So Miranda rights are not like you see on TV or in the movies. It doesn't mean your case is going to be thrown out. All it means is that the police cannot use your statements if you're in custody, usually under arrest, and subject to interrogation, meaning being asked questions by the police. So honestly, it does not apply to most cases, DUIs, domestics, drugs, the common types of cases. But if you're ever in that situation and the police read your Miranda rights, ask for a lawyer and please be quiet.
Oh, if only Miss Sarah would have listened to you, Mr. Sean K. McQuaid. You guys, here's what I'm kind of thinking. The battle of the attorneys is now on as we get ready for our pretrial conference for Sarah Boone's case. And I'm kind of thinking that if I'm Kranik and I had this issue come up, again, I'm not an attorney. I didn't eat my Wheaties last night, and I've never played an attorney on TV. But I'm thinking, from what I've been researching today and looking through all the documents and everything, I'm thinking that Kranik could come up and go, okay, well, any body cam footage that was done like on scene, like right after the police arrived, that can't be used against her. So we're not going to put that. We're not going to allow that shown in court. So the body cam of the sheriff's deputies, even the body cam of the detectives when they come up and talk to her and she's sitting on the sidewalk, he'll probably not allow that in. But he's going to say she was read her rights in the car and she was read her rights in the police station. Those two interviews can be shown to the jury. As I'm looking up this stuff under Florida, a lot of these guys
When
are
do the cops need to read you your rights?
attorneys.
When you're in custody, being interrogated. Rick Fletcher here from Fletcher & Fletcher. You want to know when the cops have to stop and read you your Miranda warnings? It's when you're in custody, being interrogated. What does in custody mean? Being in handcuffs, being in the back of a cop car, essentially being under arrest. Now, what does interrogated mean? It means being asked questions about your criminal accusation that could be designed to elicit an incriminating response. So those two things are, if those are happening, then you have a right to be read your Miranda warnings. And if the cops don't read you those rights, then
see, she wasn't being detained. She wasn't under arrest. They were just simply, and they weren't accusing her of anything. They were just collecting the facts at that point.
What they show on TV a lot is as soon as the cops go and slap the cuffs on them, read the Miranda warnings right away. It's all very dramatic, but as we've discussed on the show before, you might go and take somebody into custody and not read the Miranda rights because you're not going to ask them any questions about their involvement in the crime. As long as you're not questioning them, there's no reason to give them those Miranda rights. And if they make a statement against interest, it can still be used against them because you're not questioning them.
Okay, so I recorded that earlier today. I actually recorded it before now, but I just finished editing it today. How are y'all doing? Him having his gun on it doesn't change the thing. It wasn't pointed at her. No, I don't know. I'm looking for whatever reason that we can hear them come back and say something in court, and then we'll hear Cacciatore come back and go, oh, no, that's not right. And then we'll get to Ukraine and go, it's not right, sir. According to blah, 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 law, statute, that's going to be held in. Somebody, who was it up here asked a question about getting portions of something taken out, like maybe a portion of the interrogation where just this area can't be seen. They do it on other stuff. I mean, I look back on the Brooks trial, when they were looking at the video that they had, some parts of it were admissible and some parts weren't. So I really feel like, yeah, I really feel like that's would apply here too. Jane said, oh my God, Carrie, the picture of Sarah drinking the water. You know what? I can't believe you're the first person that said something. And we've been on for 28 minutes now, and you're the first person who's brought that up. Y'all, that picture on the thumbnail, I had to do it. Her leaning over like that, straddling the bushes so she could lean there and drink out of the hose or whatever. Oh my gosh. Did someone say that Sarah went around to neighbors after George's death to tell them what happened in case they were questioned? Could that be considered witness tampering? I don't think so. Look at what was his name? Chandler Halderson. He went around talking to the neighbors. Remember, he went knocking on doors and stuff, asking them questions. He was like trying to find out information. I go to a lot of movies, a lot of times in the morning, and I'm the only one in the theater. Okay. I don't even know how to say your name. Tabrutz. I can tell you stories for days. I lived in an apartment complex for 5 years. I moved back to Utah last year, but I was living there, and Sarah moved in originally by herself. Do you want to come up and talk, Tabrutz? I'm taking a chance. I don't know you, but you know what? Worst thing that could happen is I can snag you off stage if I need to. Do you want to come up and talk? Because we would love to hear it. It's Saturday night and we ain't got nothing else to do. Tyler, thank you so much. Tyler. I'm going to put the link in here. I'm going to copy the link. I don't know. I think Miss Sam's been working on, she's got a case that she's wrapping up. And I forgot to even tell her I was going on. I just wanted to get something up this afternoon. And I've been working on this and I was like, we've got to do this piece. Because, you guys, Thursday, they're having the hearing for this thing with the battered spouse defense. So they're going to be in court on Thursday and we're going to be live with it. Sure, love to talk. Give me 5 minutes. I'm trying to get back into my office where I can talk. Okay, sounds good, Tyler. We'll wait on you. Caroline is already throwing questions in the chat for you. I know. It's Saturday night. I've got nothing going on, y'all. They're moving in by herself was not intentional. Oh, I said that in one of my videos the other day by accident. I said it wasn't intentional. And I was like saying it as I didn't even catch I'd said it. And somebody called me out in the comments because I said something about she did something, but it wasn't intentional. And I totally didn't even catch what I'd done. I'm like, that's crazy. That's just crazy, Carrie. As many times I've listened to that video and I never picked it up. Well, congratulations on your retirement, Casey. I don't know if she was battered, but Sarah's definitely deep fried. Michael, thank you. Thank you so much. You thought I was doing it on purpose? Okay, well then I shouldn't have said anything. I love Kranick, and I think he's going to be fair. We know that. We know that he's gonna do what's right. And I just don't see how they have a sense. Think about it this way. This attorney comes in there, he makes all this hubbub, he goes and he gets into all these different takes all these interviews and everything. He's got to come in and be all flashy, right? Because he's actually, he's obviously wanting to be in the spotlight. So I just feel like any attorney is going to come in, and that's like one of the first questions you have is, was this done? And if there's any possible questioning in it, you wouldn't be a good attorney if you just didn't bring it up and put it out there and let the judge rule on it, right? Joe Bailey says she's out of her mind. Sarah should be charged for her haircut. Oh, Matt, thank you. You know what I think, Matt? I think somebody in the prison did that to her on purpose. And she walked out. They all started laughing. They said, "Oh yeah, oh that looks so good on you, girl. Let me cut. Oh, you know what would be perfect for you, Sarah? I'm just gonna trim it right here. I'm gonna put it behind. We'll just put it behind the ears a little bit. We'll shave up underneath your neck just a little bit there. Yeah. Oh, girl, that's gonna look great. Yeah, because then you don't lose a lot of length. You have like all one length. Yeah. Oh, that's gonna look great on you, girl." And then she walked out of the little jail salon, and they all sat there and laughed there. They laughed their asses off. Oh, there's Sam. Sam, I was going to give you a break tonight. I sold my bond company. Oh, well, good for you, Casey. Casey was out there bonding people out. We got Sam over here helping them get off she's the investigator for the defense. You'd think we were on the wrong side, but we're not. We are not. We are on the right side. We're getting Miss Sarah Boone in jail. I agree, Psychic. And that's going to be the sad part. And that's just going to happen. There's no way around the victim blaming. There's absolutely no way around it. I just hope that his family gets to come up and represent him properly. And that anything that his family comes up and says, it's not disrespected. It's not, I hope so. And you know what I think too, though, in listening to I don't know. I just feel like the different people the different witnesses and whatnot that they've spoken to so far, like especially Vinny next door. He talked about, George being cool. He's like, Sarah's a little crazy, but George was cool, you know? So yeah, I think the jury's going to be able to get a good visual in their head about what type of person he was. Was he an alcoholic? Yeah. Does that make him a horrible person? No. He had an addiction. What up, everybody? Hey, Blanco, what are you doing here on this fine Saturday night? He said, sorry, I'm late. You know, Sarah's going to use every move he did against him, i.e. the interview's bad defense. Yeah. Bowl cut. Her bowl cut haircut. Oh, that's great. She's got the Beatles haircut, Matt. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, I think you're right. Ooh. An Amish guy haircut. Okay. Look at all you guys coming in here on a Saturday night. I thought I was the only one who was bored. I was worried it was going to be a little bit too late because I'm an hour behind most everybody because I'm over here in Alabama. We're on Central Standard Time. Yeah, it's going to be a good night. Sam, if I'm going to do this thing with Tyler, and then after he gets off, do you want to come up? Oh, Jen. What'd you find, Jen? She said, I found a defender of Sarah, super young girl who says this isn't serious and just for fun, and that people who hate Boone are witch hunters. She's not my favorite. Is she a YouTuber? It's a witch hunt? Yeah. I can't. There's only a few people that say that. I mean, they're Sarah's fans, obviously. And the lady that got involved with the attorney, like talking to the attorney and everything, she wrote Sarah in jail. I looked her up. I looked her up on Instagram and everything. Checked her out. And I even sent her an email and she never got back to me. She probably watched my channel and was like, no, I know you. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say Sarah's guilty. I'm not coming up. She probably did drive him to drink, Patty. I mean, my goodness, there are certain people in this world that can do that. All right, let me look through I'm trying to get through the chat as quick as I can while we're waiting on Tyler. She thinks she's going to start a new hair trend. Do you guys remember what was the Dorothy Hamill? She thinks she's the next Dorothy Hamill or Rachel from Friends. Nope, not happening. Oh, there's a boxing fight on tonight. All of my family's up there watching football. Oh, are you painting? Are you putting puzzles together, Celestial? Heather? You going to put some puzzles together? Going to watch some movie trailers? Do a little painting? You know. Maybe take some of your old paintings down, put some new ones up. Just have a really good night. Just a good night. Or a good day. Have a good day. Sam, look at Sam. She's like, y'all, do y'all really want me on? Y'all give her some love. Sam is not feeling love tonight. Jerry will hate that. Feminist personality. I hope they get to see it. And you know what? I think that her personality is just going to, I feel like no matter what they do, like let's say he gets all that taken out. Like let's just say he has some kind of success in getting something taken out, right? That they don't get to show like one of the interrogations or something like that. Let's just say. And then Sarah ruins it because she wants to get up on the stand and and talk. Because you guys know that's what's going to happen. Oh, please take the stand, Sarah. Here, let me help you out of your chair and end up that little step. Let me help you get up there, girl. Cacciatore will probably escort her up there. He'll give her a freaking boutonniere. What do they call it? Not a boutonniere. What is it the women wear? A corsage. Like he's taking her to the prom. He's going to take her to the stand. Girl, you sound like me. Well, hand me a broom. I'm ready for Saturday night. Ride, girl, ride. I said that to my sister earlier today. My little nephew's over here and he was playing with the broom and I said, "Don't break that broom. Shannon won't have any place to ride around. I have nothing to ride around with." She caught it. Every now and then I'm funny. Oh, y'all are so cute in the chat. Oh, you know what? I did want to tell you guys something while I've got you all on here. Please don't go away because we're waiting on Tyler to come up. So, but while we're waiting on him to come up, let me show you guys something really quickly. Hang on. So I discovered something that we can do, a place where we can go and be ourselves. No, I've discovered this little, y'all know how I always say, buy me a coffee, buy me a coffee. The reason I do buy me a coffee is because when you buy me a coffee, you actually are when you're giving a tip to me. And what it does is there's like, I think it's like 5% taken out if you use buy me a coffee. Now, if you buy me a super chat as a tip on YouTube, I only get 50% of it. But on buy me a coffee, I get 95% of it. So it's like a no-brainer, right? But so I've always kind of liked this site. But as I was going through here this weekend, I was trying to do some background stuff. I kind of set some stuff up for us. Guess what they have? They have a membership area. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try eventually to move away from memberships on YouTube because I just didn't feel like it had that privacy level that I wanted for us to have as members. And honestly, these membership levels don't mean anything. If you pay $1, you're going to get the same thing as if you pay $10. Or I think there's a $20 level too. Same perks every level. It's just how much you want to support. How much you want to donate to support me in order to be a part of this little community over here. And there's a post area, which I think I can see this. You might not be able to see it all, but there's a whole post area and we can go in and chat back and forth with each other. I can put documents and stuff up that I can't put up on YouTube. So I did want to show you guys something really quickly though, while I have you here. It's a really quick video. I had a thought that since I have so much on Sarah Boone already, we still have another at least 2-3 weeks before the trial. I thought, let me do this. Let me put something together for you guys. It's easy for you to find the videos you're looking for on my channel. So this is the way I'm going to do this. In any video that you're in, that you're watching of mine, just click this right here. This, the icon, or my name. And it takes you to my channel. Upon entering my channel, it's going to show you anything that, if you keep scrolling down, you'll see where I've organized the Sarah Boone case. I have all the videos that we have done on this channel are right here. Within this, I've done these little subsections. We have all of the available police interviews. Now, just so you know, these images will change, okay, as I upload videos to these different playlists. But all available police interviews, all body cam footage, the IMS weekly reports. Now, as we know, they're probably not doing these anymore, but when they were doing them, those are all of them. And the series on the case docket dive that I did, where we went in and looked at each attorney and all that they did. So with that being said, I hope that helps, guys. And thanks for joining me here on Buy Me a Coffee. Okay, so that was that part. Let me get back over here. All right. Oh, shit. I just closed it. I just closed it out. I wanted to keep showing y'all the community a little bit more. So anyway, you could join. And like I said, $1 a month. And you can join. And then we could, whenever I post something in here, there's a gallery area. There's a post area. You guys can make comments just like you do on YouTube. And the good part is that we're going to be weeding out those people that get on our nerves, right? When we have to chat back and forth. So anyway, I thought this would be fun. I feel more confident putting things up in here to share with you guys than I do putting it up on YouTube. I don't know why. I just feel like everybody can see it on YouTube. And I don't necessarily want everybody to see it. I definitely don't want other creators to take stuff and use it on their channel that I do. So They say it takes 30%. I'll have to go back and look. Unless they changed it, Leah. I thought it was 50%. It's a lot. It's the way they do it. You have to do a little math to figure it out. It's not. It doesn't come out and slap you in the face if they took that much. But yeah, I'll go back and look, Leah. If I'm wrong, I will definitely let you guys know. But anyway, it's a big difference, And when you go to tip somebody on YouTube, you want to be able. You're tipping them. I mean, the channel's great and all, but they're making money off of ads already. So. Sojourners, that young guy sounded very naive compared to his roommate. Who are we talking about? I look like a teenager. What are you talking about, Laria? Is it Laria? I am not a teenager. But my picture is new though. It's a recent photo. I will say that much. I have not seen Kimmy. I have not seen who is it that we were talking about the other day? Okay, Tyler, I'm going to put this link in for you to come up. Oh, y'all, I'm worried about Barbara because we haven't seen her. And, the hurricane hit her area. I don't think it was a horrible, horrible hit, but still. I've asked, I sent another open records request in for more stuff on Sarah Boone. So we'll see if I get anything more. I just have to set up Venmo or PayPal. I don't have it set up. That's the only thing. All right, let me take some of this stuff down so when he comes up. What question do I need to ask him, guys, to make sure we know he's for real? What do y'all think? What should we say to him? Oh, and there's like a, like I said, there's a gallery area over here that I can add stuff to. I can put up the docket stuff, and because I can attach PDFs and things like that. And I can't do that on YouTube. So, and another thing too, is I thought what I would do is, I'd also, whenever I'm going to put up a video, once I post it on YouTube, I'll also post it here. Or let's say if I'm going to come live, I could go on here and say, I'm going live in 30 minutes. And that way, because this can send you an email if you want me to. You just have to let me know if you want to do that. Do it that way. So yeah. Let me get off this site. Did you get the link I put in there, Vinny? Hey, thanks for joining, April. So kind of you. So hopefully what we'll end up doing is we'll transition memberships over to that other channel. But if y'all want to go over there now, you can. I've got some stuff up for people that have done tips on that channel. There's some stuff that you could still see. Oh, I could start off by saying hi, Carrie. Thanks, Louise. Yeah, Tyler's got to come in and figure out how to get on here. Tyler, click the link Carrie sent you. Thank you, Blanca. And Tyler, make sure that you don't have anything in on the background, like a TV going, or, if you're listening to the YouTube on the background, put that on mute so you don't get an echo. Joe Bailey, we are waiting for Tyler, who claims that he once lived in the neighborhood where Sarah lived. And I'm going to do a couple of questions to see if we can figure out if he really is who he says he is. And then we're going to go all in and get the juice. Or is it the tea? It's the tea. We want the tea. Yeah, throw some questions in the chat of something that you think that only someone that lived near Sarah would know. Oh, Bama doesn't have the link. Let's see what's got. That's not it. It's Buy Me a Coffee characters. It's in my description of each video, and it says Buy Me a Coffee /characters. Hey, Christine. I'm seeing you in a bit, girl. How you doing? Here, I'll get that. Here, I'll get the link and put it in again. It pops up for me real quick. And I think too, we can do some private sessions in that other things. Like we might do them on YouTube, but we'll be able to talk about them on that site, and then have some member one-on-one stuff. Because Sam and I were talking about it would be cool just to do, get on here like on a Saturday night sometime. We don't have to talk about any specific case. We'll just chat with, do a members chat. Because I know you guys just like to come on and chat with each other. Why no one from SB school, maybe she was too busy getting those straight A's, or even jailmates have said anything about interactions with her. I know, isn't that kind of weird? I was thinking that too. I'm like, why hasn't anybody stepped up? Better not have botched the SB anything. Oh, no. I mean, we don't think they have. We just know that it's being challenged. And so in order to prepare ourselves for the challenge that Mr. James Owens is throwing out there to the prosecution, we're just doing our due diligence here on Characters Productions to look over what the procedures are, what was done, because we want to be able to, because you know how we like to scream at the TV when stuff happens. We want to know in advance what's going on before it happens. Mel says, I just found out that the horrible Wade Wilson will be in prison just up the road. Oh, girl. Do you know I never watched that trial? I saw his face and was like, no, I'm not watching that. Not watching it. Oh, look at you giving out the old address. All right, Tyler. Did you figure out how to come up, Tyler? Are you still having problems? Because I see you typing. You live to the right of her on that building next to the right. Okay. You moved in February 2015. She moved in 2017. You are correct, Tyler. Tyler, I'm starting to feel that you are legit. Either that or you've been following the case like we have. I was curious on the link. Do I have to show my face? No, you do not. In fact, if you don't turn your camera on, it'll just either it'll probably put the T up there and say so no, you don't have to show your face. I would never require that. Look at me. I don't show my face. I don't want to scare people away. I want them to watch my channel. I'm getting all kinds of text messages. She is an outstanding mother. That poor kid. I don't ever think that. That's weird. I just got a notification. Oh, JPC sent me a Venmo. Oh God, JPC. So anyway, I forgot what I was going to say. I got sidetracked. Squirrel. No, I don't mind chatting with you guys in the link. Can I use something other than my face? I'm not hideous, but I'd rather. No, you don't. Just turn the camera off. So when you log on, I'm going to pull you up. And before I even pull you up, I'll tell you, do you want to turn your camera off before you go? And then I'll pull you up. And the T that you see in the chat, that's probably what's going to show up instead of your image. It'll just be that T, that grayed out T. Sorry, guys. You know what's frustrating, Lisa, about calling her Sarah Paulson is that there's that Sarah Paulson actress. And every time I go to look for something on her maiden name, the actress comes up. What was the name of the bar across the street from the apartment? Oh, look at you, Soleil. I don't even know the damn name of the apartment. I'm sure y'all do, though. Wait, Fiona says, what was the name of the property manager before this one? Oh, I love you guys. You guys are awesome. I clicked on the post. How do I get on the live? Sorry, I'm 46. I'm an older person. That's okay. It's okay. You click the link I gave you. Wait. I think you clicked the wrong link. I think you went to the link that I'd put up earlier. Let me make sure you got the right link. Copy, paste. I just put the StreamYard link in there for you. It's okay. This is normal too. When someone has never been up on StreamYard before, it is a little confusing at first. She's going to write a book on parenting. Oh my God. Her and Casey Anthony will get together and write a book on parenting. We would all be better people for having her parenting information. Isn't that right? JPC said, Sarah Boone Pate. I've stopped calling everybody boonies because I've gotten so much flack from it. I'm going to stop. Because it does sound like we're fans of hers. Good Lord. And no matter how many times I say we're not, no matter how many times I define what a boonie is online or on my videos, people ignore it and just say, how dare you? Let's hope so. Let's hope all of her emotions will be. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. If you want to ask Tyler a question, you click the link, but you're not up. Let me see something. Sam might have to come up and help you because Sam's been up several times. So when it comes up, it should. Okay, Sam, do you see the link? Can you come up and tell him how to get up here? Because I don't know how to do it that way. Anybody? We're anti-fans. We sure are. Sorry for the wait, you guys. Tyler's trying to figure this out. Sam's like, I'm going to try. All right. Okay, here's PI Sam. First it says device not connected. But then she has to do something on her end to make it connect. There she goes.
Ooh.
Hi, Sam.
Hi, I need to get my headphones. Tyler, when I first came on, I had to set up a little login to StreamYard, and so that I could sign in. And once I did that, you just click enter the studio. You have the link, and then you click enter the studio, and I just unmuted, or I unmuted my mic, and I keep my camera closed because you guys don't need to see that.
I mean, you guys don't need to see all that.
Nobody does. I do need to get my headphones though. I don't know how to help him any more than that. I have a Mac. I don't know if he's on Windows. I'm using Chrome to get on through here.
Yeah, so you might have to set something up at first, but
yeah, okay. I had to. So you remember how we had a confusion on the time thing?
Yeah.
With you being an hour behind me. That worked out real well for me because I had to go in and set up the StreamYard thing. And
did it take you a minute to do it all?
Just a minute. Yeah, it just took a few minutes. It wasn't
not
hard.
too bad.
No.
Okay. Where are the neighbors that played the guitar? Oh, no. Angela, that is Vinny, I think, that played the guitar. We are having a wild Saturday night. I love it. Yes, Megan, we are. Is it Megan or Megan? Look at Christine, almost a year. Look at you, girl. You could have already had a baby and everything. 11 months. Okay. Thank you, Blanco. What?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, sorry, just sitting down. The other issue he may be having is depending on his browser. If he doesn't enable it to do certain things, it's not going to let him come on here.
Oh, yeah.
I don't, it depends on his privacy settings, and I have no way of being able to conquer that.
And I don't know how to do like a phone call thing. Hang on.
Or like Zoom. I always need other people to set up Zoom for me. I don't know. Can you call from within StreamYard?
I don't think you can.
Well, it's certainly not on my end.
There he is, Tyler.
Oh, you got it. Good.
Oh, hey, can
I'm
you
gonna
guys
mute
hear me?
myself.
I'm not sure if I can. Trying to hook
We
up my
hear
head.
you.
Okay, I'm trying to hook up my headphones the whole time. I apologize.
Tyler, you're the most exciting thing that's happened to me all day today.
Oh, good. I'm trying. Are you guys able to use your AirPods on here or no?
Yeah, I think so. Just depends on whatever device you're using. When you're I mean, I have headphones that I use, but I'm on a laptop, so.
Okay,
But
well,
yeah.
I can't hook on my AirPods, so I can just talk through the phone. I'm sorry. I really have
No,
a
that
hard time. I have
you
a hard.
sound clear.
Okay, good. I have a hard time hearing, so I have my AirPods on all the time.
Oh, I get you. Okay. Well, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. I just wish I could hook up the AirPods. I'm sorry.
Well, if they'll hook up, then take your time doing that. We'll give you another minute because Sam just
Well,
came
yeah.
on.
Let me try these AirPod Maxes one, and let's see if those hook up. Because I'm using my iPhone. I'm not using my Max. I'm sorry. I just got home. So let me try this.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, ganging up on you on just as soon as you walk in the door.
Can you hear
Who's doing
me?
a brilliant costume?
Oh,
Yeah, can hear you.
perfect. Okay, I put my AirPod
Oh, that,
Maxes on. I can hear you better now. Oh. Can you hear
oh,
there?
okay. Yes, it sounds great. Okay.
Okay, I
So
turned
you
the.
lived in the building.
Okay,
You lived in
yeah.
the building that
Sorry.
Sam, hang on. Sam, do you want to come on or off?
I'm fine. I'll just sit here mute, and
Okay.
if you want
Okay.
me, you just
I
tell me.
didn't if I took you off, I didn't mean to.
No,
Yeah,
I switched from my wireless. I just plugged my headphones into my laptop. That's all.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't want to put a picture because I just got home and I don't know how some people on YouTube, they take your photo and they throw it everywhere, just until I can get to know you guys more. Not that I'm lying or nothing. It's just, you know
I
what I
love
mean?
this. He's betting us. I love this. No, it's
No,
cool. I'm good. I know I'm good with it. I'm good with it. I get you. No
yeah, because
worries.
I always watch your videos, and that one time you were like live and people were saying mean things.
Oh, people always say mean things. We just ignore them. Oh, I think we lost you, Tyler. I can't hear you anymore, Tyler.
Okay,
There you. Oh, there you. Okay.
can you hear me?
Yeah. I don't know what
Okay,
happened.
yeah, I walked away from the phone and okay, so yeah, whatever you want to ask. I mean, I lived there for, I would say, a few years, but yeah,
Okay.
I, I don't know. When I keep watching the news and they said that she was living there for years, the property manager, she was only living there for like a year and a half.
Okay. You know what I thought was interesting is the property manager, I think, said 2019. But I saw on something that it said 2017. And I know 2017 was when her divorce with her husband went through.
Well,
So,
I have a funny story with Sarah, and whether you guys believe it or not. Okay, so I'm when I was living there, I was separated with my ex-wife, and I was on multiple dating sites. But you guys remember a thing called Live Links? I don't know if you guys heard of that before.
live links? No.
It's a dating site.
Okay. Oh, I think you're going out when you're walking away from your phone. Now you're back on, Tyler.
Yeah, I don't think I think it's the connection.
Okay. So it's a dating site?
Yeah, I was just saying that I was on multiple dating sites and she was on one of the dating sites. I can't remember what she was on. She was on one of the dating sites in 2018 when I was meeting people, but I never messaged her. That's the whole reason I started a conversation with her, because I recognized her from the app.
So you talked to her out in the neighborhood?
I talked to her I probably talked to her because I work from home and I have my own business at home. So I'm always home with my dog, and she would always see me with my dog. If you guys ever talk to her live, talk to her about my bulldog, and she'll say, to prove that I'm real. So I have a bulldog named Elvis that she would always want to pet him, but she would always say, I'm scared to pet him. She was kind of odd, you know?
Yeah. Well, okay. So how often did you see her when she was inebriated? Yeah, we got to get you back in an area where you can't lose connection again. I can hear his feed when he loses a connection. I can hear his feed go out, like that static noise in the background. He's definitely not on right now. Yo, what should we ask? I'm not prepared for this. Okay, here's one. Okay, I can hear you now. Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Oh wait, to brief background about me, so I was like an active user of like Vicodin and all types of pain medication when I was living there. So I was an active addict. So I wasn't an alcoholic, but I was pretty out there with my, I'm in recovery now for the past couple years now, but when I was living there, yeah, so that's the whole reason I moved to Utah, is to seek this treatment program. But I was living there, I was pretty wild out with so when I was on my binges, I would always have conversations with her, but it's funny, when she first moved in, that guy, I believe his name is Brian, he's kind of like, I would call him like the droopy eyes. He was really huge back then, but he was always there all the time.
Her ex-husband?
Yeah, he was there all the time when they first moved in, because when she first moved in, her son was younger, and I had younger kids at the time, but he was always there doing, I think, the weekends, like all the time. He was always outside. But whatever questions, like I'm telling you, if you guys ever want to talk to her about me, I'm telling you, I don't know how much to prove it. Like, I don't want you guys to think I'm full of it. Like, I wouldn't waste your guys' time,
I'm getting a vibe from you that you're legit. Is everybody else getting that vibe? I'm getting that because you just don't sound like you're coming on here playing game.
Well, because I mentioned the thing about me being an active user because, like I said, I was pretty, I was like heavy into cocaine and pain medication. And yeah. So
do I need to run a background check, Tyler?
No. I've never.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, we lost you again, Tyler. Damn it. No, that's good. Well, Tyler, I'm proud of you. I have no idea what that's like. I know that I smoke, and I would have a very hard time quitting smoking. I can't imagine being hooked on a drug like that. We got a couple of questions coming in. So you guys, if you would, please, before you put your question in, will you put what can we put in front of the question that will make it stand out to me, y'all? We need something so I don't miss your question in chat. I saw Jeffrey's. How often were the police there? And we've got Lisa's. I've got Lisa's marked. Oh, that Lisa's being funny about the Halloween costume. Are you back, Tyler?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you now. Okay. I'm sorry. You were saying?
Well, yeah, I know how it is to smoke because I have been like 8 years clean since I smoked. And the one thing about me is like, I was always like relapsing. So when I was living there, I was always relapsing. So anyways, yeah, whatever questions you guys have for me, I can answer the best I can.
Well, I have one before I ask you Addie's question. I wanted to know from you, like, from what you remember, I got the impression that she was constantly like wandering around the neighborhood drunk all the time, dressed not so great.
Okay, the one thing I got to tell you about her is, okay, so I'm 46. So when I was living there, what is it, 2000?
We need to get him a better Wi-Fi.
My phone.
Okay, there you are. Oh, you're gone again. This is going to be one of those cliffhangers, y'all, where he's going to be saying something really cool and we lose him. And next week. Oh, there you are. Okay.
Are you there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let me
You said
see
you
if
were
I can. Yeah, let me see if I could. It's probably these stupid headphones.
Maybe it is. You were fine without them.
Yeah, let me see. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I switched over to my cellular on my phone because I usually switch over to my Wi-Fi when I get home from work. So I'm on my cellular now, so maybe that will help.
Okay. Yeah, cool. All right. So I'd ask
Okay,
you
so
about her wandering the neighborhood, and you were answering me on that.
when I lived there, I was in my late 30s. When I first met her, it was like late at night. Like I said, I was taking my dog, and she approached me. I pretty much know when people are pretty much out of their mind or high or whatever. When I
Yeah.
first met her, she didn't come across as an alcoholic. She was kind of like, in my mind, I know a lot of people who are meth users. I never smoked meth, but she kind of came across as a kind of tweaker to me, when I first met her, because she was always asking me for things constantly.
Like
She asked
what?
me for things I could probably tell you, okay, when she first met me, she said, hey.
Oh, shit. We lost him again. This is not right. Oh, it's just getting good. We're going to hang out for you. Don't worry, Tyler. We'll wait for you. She probably asked for a cigarette. We're all going to speculate now to use your bath. They're all speculating in the chat, Tyler, to use your bathroom for a cigarette, for a Dr. Pepper. Okay, we can hear you now.
Yeah, listen. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it keeps cutting in and out. It's weird. It's probably because all three of us are connected to it. I don't know.
Okay.
What about, did you lose
So
me?
you said,
Okay, so
no, go ahead.
she would always start the conversation with me as, hey, can I ask you a question? She would always say, hey, can I ask you something? And then she said, she'd always say, hey, I get paid next week. Do you think you can loan me $10? She always wanted money she always wanted money for cigarettes. So I'm like kind of a people pleaser. So at first I loaned her $7 in quarters the first time. That's all I had. And then like a week passed, and then she paid me back like I think $6. And then she would always ask me for money or anything like this. I'm trying to think of the one thing that she asked me for. She would ask me for random things like, hey, I'm trying to think. She asked me for a USB drive one time. She was always asking me for weird stuff. But when I first met her, she was never like a.
Oh, we lost him again. Y'all are so funny in the chat. What she asked you? Do you have an extra puzzle? Oh, KPM. Do you have a suitcase? Y'all are so wrong. Y'all are awful. Okay. Okay, he's back.
What part cut out? It's so frustrating because I want to explain, but it keeps cutting in and out. I'm sorry.
You had said something about her asking for a USB drive.
So yeah, she would always ask for something. You know what's funny is as soon as she met this guy Jorge George, then she stopped coming around. Period. Like she was never coming up to my house. And the one time she did talk to me, Jorge, or I think his brother, because her brother at one time lived with them. So it was Jorge, Jorge's brother, and Sarah lived in that place for like at least 6 months. Because I'm very nosy. I kind of like see who's around. I see what's cars around.
Yeah.
Because before that Kia SUV, that Sorrento she had I'm trying to think of the car. She had you guys remember those older cars called Daewoo's?
Yeah, yeah.
It was a Daewoo. It was a light blue Daewoo.
What color was a Sorrento? Do you remember what color her Kia was? Oh, we lost him again. If he knows what color the Kia is, you guys, I'm 100% know he's for real. I can't believe. So she was coming to his house and asking for things. That is crazy. And we need to know which brother he's talking about that lived there. Daewoo was a disposable car. He's still here, but he'll be back. Y'all are horrible. And the big question, are you going to trial as a... Oh, are you going to trial as a character witness? Okay, here we go. He's back. Gotcha. Lost you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep,
Hello?
I can hear you now. I can
Yeah,
hear you. You can't hear me?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe I should switch over to my Mac. Would that be better? Let me switch over to my Mac. I don't know.
It might be. I might just have to add you into a different one, but sure, you could try it.
Well, let me just sit at my desk. Okay, so the Kia she had was, I can give you a better one. She had a white 2007 Kia. It was an SUV. I don't know the model. I don't know the model number. It was a white SUV. It was a 2007.
I think it was a Sereno. I think you're right. Well, good for... Okay, I believe you. I 100% believe you. I got a good feel for you.
It was a white SUV Kia, and she had at one time she had a sticker in the back. If you ever look at the back of her car, you'll see the sticker on the lower right hand corner.
Okay.
So I'm just very like nosy. Go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say, Carrie has vetted you, but I have not. So I'm gonna need some identification. So I can go ahead and run that background check on you, please.
She's kidding.
Wait, hey, you know what's funny? When I first meet, when I first meet people, and this is the truth, I always tell people my name is Tony Henderson, and that's the name of.
Oh. Yeah, he passed. He passed the Tiffany, y'all. I think he does. Do you have a large paper? No, do you have any staples? That's another question. He knocked on his door. Do you have any staples? I'm trying to take my pants in a little bit here.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yep, now we can.
Okay, so the one thing about her is I don't think she started drinking until like a year after she moved in there. Then she came kind of like, because my mom was a really bad alcoholic, and my mom was very abusive and beat me all the time when I was younger. So Sarah reminded me of my mom. That's why probably I fucking hated her so much. My mom was just like Sarah, minus the beating me part, you know.
I totally can see that, because I was looking at something with her her back patio at one point. It was like when they had first moved in, and it looked all nice and cute and everything. They had it all decorated, and then in the 2019 video in September of 2019, when they went around back and they showed the body cam of the back porch, all there was like 2 little lawn chairs sitting there, and everything was like torn up.
Hey.
Yeah, go ahead and get on your computer, Tyler, and see if that works better.
I'm on my Mac every time I talk to you.
Well, he could have he could have a bad area. He could be in a bad area. I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works. I'm out in the middle of the boondocks, and mine goes in and out.
Oh no, while we're waiting, I'll just go ahead and run that background check on him. Make sure he is who he says he is. You know, do the investigation.
Do your investigations. There's some, you guys aren't putting enough questions in the chat. I've got Angela put a question in. I see your funny questions, but we need some good questions. Okay, here you go. Jeffrey, did they ever ask you to play hide and seek? Tyler, did you ever play hide and seek with them? Did you ever see them playing hide and seek? You know what I think it is? I think that I want to ask him about, like, as far as how many times he saw the cops come out there. Yeah. We got to get to Addie's question too. I got it sitting up here.
Oh, how she was with her son. Yeah.
Y'all be patient with Tyler. This is his first time. This, let me tell you right now, coming up on the StreamYard, it's a pain in the neck.
Yeah,
Do you
it's
have any spare cheese?
we did a pre-record on my first time, and it took me a minute. I'm trying to. I can at least focus on the chat right now.
You want to look at the chat? You want to focus on the chat and pick up the questions on there?
Well, I'm looking at it. I just don't see. I think they're having their own conversation again, Carrie. I think they've left us behind. Is what's happened.
Yeah, they like to do that. Oh, Jax Snack Pack. What a cute name. Did he hear anything about her hitting someone with a car? That's a good one. You asked a question. Okay, I got to go back up.
Leah says she asked some questions. I don't know how to do that on my end. If I can, Carrie, I don't even know that I can do that.
If you hover over the question, can you star it? On
Can
the
you hear
right
me?
top. Yeah, we can hear you. Are you on your Mac now?
No, I logged on to YouTube, but I can't seem to find your channel. So I don't know if I have to get off this to connect on there.
No, you don't need to. Oh, you want to be able to watch and listen at the same time?
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't really need to watch because you guys are answering the question. But if you guys can hear me fine here, because I'm just sitting on my bed now. Sorry, I've been dealing with an issue with my dog, so I've been trying to go back and forth.
Oh, okay. No, you're good. Okay, so let's go back to what we were talking about. We had said something about she was. One thing that blew me away is you mentioned that she'd come over and just knock on your door randomly.
No, she would come over to my house. Like, okay, so she would come over. She never came in, but she would always look like she wanted to like walk in. And I said no, because I had my dog. She would always talk about my dog, but she never wanted to pet my dog, which was very strange. She said she didn't want to pet him, but my dog is really cute.
What kind of dog do you have? Thank you, Brown Eyed Lassie, for your super thanks.
I think he said he had a bulldog.
Was that what he said? I thought he'd said it earlier, but I missed it.
Yeah.
JPC wants to. Okay, we hear you, Tyler.
Yeah, sorry, I don't mean to be screaming. She came over at least once a week asking me for things. It was so bad that I had to complain to the property manager about her. I never really complained about her, but she was getting kind of annoying.
Was which Melissa? You had to talk to Melissa about her?
No, see the lady that they gave the interview to in the office, she was in the back pool giving the interview. Okay,
Yeah.
so I don't even know who she was because every time I lived there with my ex-wife at the time, but every time we had to pay our rent it would be to a property manager online. And the one guy that was living there, he was living in the front. His name was Abdul or something, like
Okay.
I can't an Egyptian guy, but they never had it on. They had somebody that was living there, and like I said, I'd never really dealt with the manager because I called and made a complaint against her one time. But like I said, when she first moved in, it was just her and her son, I guess.
Okay, so her and her son were there. Did you see her with her son much? Because we wanted to know how she was with her son.
Well, when she moved in, okay, to be honest, I didn't see any kids with her at all for the first, I would say, first 6 months. There was nobody there. And then that guy, I guess his name's Brian, came over, and they were always so they would go in the back. We have a pond in the back, and you're not supposed to even get near it or go by it. But I guess they were always messing with it. The older, trying to think. Not the son, but the husband was always doing stuff there.
Not Brian. I mean, not George, but Brian.
No, Brian.
Her ex-husband.
If the guy that was in the body cam was Brian, then that's the guy I seen there all the time. I would.
I'm going to put a star. Bama, if you're still here, if anybody says anything mean to Tyler while he's on the panel, you have my permission to zap him, put him in timeout.
Carrie, I can't star anything from my side.
Oh, you can't? Okay. Cliffhangers are the word. Yeah, let's see. I'm starting to star some of these ones that I'm looking at here. I can't believe Brian was over there so much. You're Tyler, whatever you are on right now, it says that you're muted. There
Okay,
you
yeah,
go.
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Somebody was asking about. Oh, how often were the police over there? Did you see them up there a lot?
Well, I don't know if you guys knew Florida pretty well, but that apartment complex, I mean, it used to be really bad in 2015, 2016. They fixed it up a lot, but there was cops over there all the time, not just for Sarah, but for everyone.
Oh, okay.
So to be honest with you, I don't know. There was always police, like, because I lived at 4736 down on number 7. So I was like, maybe when you come out of her door, you'd have to make a right, and I'm to the right of her.
You know what's funny? I'm gonna hang on. Let me pull up something really quick and show you. Because I had something I wanted to. I had some images here
Elvis,
of
stop.
when. Okay, let me pull up this screen. You don't have to do nothing. Just hang on. I'm gonna pull up I'm gonna show something on screen. Can you see that? What do you say? 36? Oh, we see your building. We see where you were. He's in the middle of this building right here.
He's gone from the screen, Carrie.
Oh shit. Okay.
I see you and B.
Well, y'all be patient. He'll be back. So he's saying he lives right here. So Sarah's building is right here. She lived on the end, kind of at the end. And then remember when they said that George's tent. Can I go out any further with this? I don't think I can. When they were talking about him setting up a tent in one of the back porches for a while, they called him. It was in the building on the other side of his building. It's right over here. All right. Well, Brian, if you need the link, let me put it in the chat again because he's probably going to need it. Did I say Brian? Tyler. If you need the link, Tyler, it's right there. What were you saying, Sam?
I don't know. What was I saying?
Oh, I don't know. I'm my ADD is like going crazy right now.
Chat, what was I saying? Was it useful? No, I'm not sure.
I don't know. He was talking about how the neighborhood or whatever, and they had a new company come in and buy that property out. It was sometime after she was arrested, and it looks like that they really, they spruced it up on the outside. It seems. I don't know. Well, I take that back. Unless all of the units look like the one that we saw in their little model unit, they had put down hardwood floors in lieu of carpet. Just kind of updated them a little bit, spent some money on it. But I think there were some not so great people that were living around there. From what he's saying.
What do you want to bet your graphics are better than the demonstratives that are used in court?
There he is. Okay. Hey.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you see what I have on screen?
Yes, I had to go back. I'm so sorry because sometimes when it comes to like hooking up to things, I'm kind of slow. So.
No, it's okay. I'm technology challenged as well. But we found your building. We found your unit right here. All right. So we were talking about the police, and you said that police would come pretty often for just a lot of people in there, huh?
Well, the police would come there all the time. Like I'm not from Florida. I'm originally born and raised in Hawaii, and I moved all around the world. But after I left California, we came to Florida because of different reasons. I was married at the time. My ex-wife had family there, but it was like a nightmare because I was heavily, active using. So then I
It
had
was a
to.
bad time in your life. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would say I've been clean now for a couple years, but yeah, I'm still dealing with it because I have to take a medicine like injection every month, and I have to go to treatment. So yeah, it's like I'm not done yet. It's like a
Yeah.
lifelong struggle with me.
Well, they say that you'll always be an addict, and you just have to say, "I deal every day. I wake up to a new day." I guess is what I hear. I don't know.
Well, yeah,
Um,
I was never hooked on meth or anything. I have all my teeth. I don't look like a drug user, but like with chronic, I was like in foster care since I was like little. So, and because, my parents were very abusive. That's why the whole thing with Sarah being an alcoholic kind of really triggered me when I met her a year, after she moved in. It, you
yeah.
know, and I kind of felt sorry for her because she didn't have a job. Well, she had one job for a brief moment, and then she got fired or something. She worked at a restaurant as a server doing something. I can't remember. She's telling me she was a server at some restaurant. Do you remember that one arrest video where she got arrested?
Yeah, she
And
lost it after she got arrested, didn't she? Because she didn't go to work.
well, I don't understand that video because she was never when she first moved in. She had that server job, and then once she lost that job, she never worked at all.
She was
And
always looking.
well,
That's what they
because
say, Tyler.
what's that?
I said they always say she was always looking.
I don't think she would always try to correct the way I would speak because a lot of times when I would talk to her, she was always when I would have a conversation with her, when you're talking to somebody you really can't fucking stand them. And she would always try to make me feel like she was better than me. But like when I first moved in, I didn't have a car for the first year. And she would always, when I would talk to her about me trying to get a car, she would always say, "Man, it sucks to be your age, not have a car." She would say stuff like that to me, like really pissed me off.
I think she is one of those people that she like if she sees someone go lower than her or any other however like anybody that she feels like she could get her what is the word I'm looking for? Her personality is the type that if she feels like she can command you, she's gonna command you. She's just like she just kind of takes ugh. Evil.
But you
What's the word I'm looking for, Sam?
do you know when she was in an interrogation and she was ratting on her neighbors being illegals?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure this was her, but when she first met me, I didn't have my dog on the lease. I didn't pay a pet deposit because I didn't have the 500 to pay them. So he was in my house, and I said, "Hey, don't say anything." She said, "Yeah, yeah, I'm not a snitch." And like literally a week later, I got a notice on my door stating that I have to pay the deposit or get rid of my dog. And I'm telling you that she's the only one that I told that to.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put it. She would always try to. I think she would always give information to the office people to kind of like make them. She would always try to make people think she's better than she is, even though you know how she always says, "I'm not an alcoholic. I only had one drink." She'll
Yeah.
always make herself look better, but she never looked in the mirror. She was really horrible.
So she was a rat. She would go to the office and oh my gosh, you guys, she was a neighborhood Karen, y'all. Well,
I'm not sure it was her because the person. Okay, so okay, so nobody lived next door to me to my left. Nobody lived there. It was empty. They were renovating it because you're not supposed to smoke in the units. And the
mhm.
person who smoked in that unit, I guess, really made the yellow. It was they had to like gut the whole apartment because the walls were completely yellow and they had to gut everything. So I know for a fact that when Sarah lived there. She smoked every day in her apartment. She never went outside and smoked.
We were wondering about that. Well, we saw in one of the police videos, we saw her come out the door and she had a lit cigarette in her hand.
The thing about Sarah, when I told you when I first met her, she came across as somebody who uses like meth because the one I only met George twice, and he was always like, in my opinion, I don't know. I just thought he didn't like. For me, I'm white and Japanese, but I look mostly white. But he just came across as somebody he didn't like white people. I don't know. Maybe even though he was going out with Sarah, he just when she would talk to me when she started dating him. But like I said, her brother, his brother was living there with him the first 6 months or 7 months when he moved in with her.
Oh, that was the other. Do you know what did the brother look like? Did he have long hair or was it
No,
short?
it wasn't the guy that stabbed his girlfriend in the
Okay.
head with the. It was this one
One?
was yeah, this one was like a younger brother. I don't know who. who he was. He was younger. He looked like in high. I don't know how old he was, but he looked young, like somebody
I
in
think
like
it's
high school.
Juan. I think Juan is the baby. Okay, because I think Moses is older, or Moses doesn't look. Moses does not look young. I don't think.
Because,
So
like I
that's
said,
interesting.
I wasn't okay. I didn't snitch on anybody, but I was very observant on who owned what cars. Because when I bought a car, I would always like park it on Sarah's side because the people that lived by me would park super close. So I would park near her car. Like I said, she didn't have that Kia. She got that Kia like the year prior to her getting arrested. She had another car that was Daewoo. Um,
Oh.
but she would always, when I parked on that side, like I said, I'm pretty observant what everything she was doing. But if you guys have any other questions about her,
Yeah, we do. There's a whole bunch. Hang on. Let me go down this one. Oh, we so there was a question about her hitting somebody with a car. Juan, the brother, said something about he thought she hit somebody with her car. Do you know anything about that?
well, like in an apartment complex, that she hit somebody.
Yeah, I think it sounded like it was in the apartment complex, but I don't know for sure if it was.
So with her car, to be honest, okay, okay, this is kind of embarrassing to say because so I had a bulldog that when I first moved in, I didn't have a vehicle, and I I didn't want to ask anyone for a ride to the vet, but I needed to take him in to the vet, and I did ask her,
Yeah.
and she said, because I had given her money the prior week, and I said, hey, do you think you can give me a ride to the vet? And she said, I would, but I'm actually going to go see my auntie in a little while. And I knew she didn't have anybody in that area. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever. So I had to call a cab. Because I think back then it wasn't really Uber, wasn't really, maybe it was, but I don't know. I had to call a cab. But when I got back, her car was still in the same spot. And I had confronted her about that. I said, hey, how come when I help you all the time, you don't want to ever help me? Um, because like I said, she would always be outside. She had this bicycle too. I don't know if you guys ever seen our pictures with her bicycle.
I know he had one. I didn't know she had one. Do you think it was the same one or it was?
No, it was this bicycle was kind of like the ones with the handlebars that kind of dip down like the beach cruiser ones.
Yeah.
It was like one of those type of bikes.
Oh
I
my
think on
gosh.
like I said when I first met her, I think she was. This is just my opinion. I think she was using other things than alcohol because, like I said, my mom was a raging alcoholic, and Sarah, she always had the box of wine all the time. Every time she would be walking back, she would always have the box of wine. She loved that box of wine because it was the cheapest box of wine on the corner convenience store. She would always get. I think it
You
was like
know,
$7 for a box of wine.
yeah. And you get the more wine for the money.
And
Yeah,
to be
because those
honest with
boxes, that's a lot of wine in those boxes too.
yeah, to be honest with you, so do you guys? I was gonna ask you guys. Do you guys think that she's gonna get convicted or get set free?
Oh, she'll get convicted. I just don't see. Go ahead, Sam. Go ahead.
She will be convicted. She will
There's
be
no
convicted.
way.
There's no way she's not going to be convicted. And I know you guys get on me sometimes because I work for the defense. Doesn't mean that I don't think she's guilty, because I do. And I think she's going to jail. Prison,
With
not jail.
that video, yeah, that video just did it in for. Did do you think George was because I got Angela asked if George came off as jealous, but you said he just didn't seem friendly. You think maybe he was jealous of you because she talked to you so much?
Okay, so like I said, anytime anything would go down out there, a lot of the neighbors there were like I would say majority of them were Hispanic. Um, they would always think that I was like the snitch or something every time because I was always outside with my dog. I was never a snitch, but the one time she was talking to me, he screamed at her to get over to him like she was a dog, and she's like, I gotta
Really?
go, and he didn't come over and introduce himself and like, hey, I'm whatever. Um, he never introduced himself to, and I thought he was kind of snobby because I was like, why don't you like come over and say, hey, I'm so and so, and like be cool about it instead of being like a jerk about it, calling her like a dog. That's the first impression I got of him is he was kind of an asshole.
So in seeing them around the apartment complex, the times that you did Do you? Because we felt like she was the domineering one. You don't think she was?
And this is my opinion. I think that night when they were drinking, like she was very domineering too. But I think she probably said, George, if you go in that suitcase and do all this and let me push you on the stairs, I'll give you a blowjob for an hour. That's exactly what I think. I think she promised him sexual favors. That's probably why. And I think he probably agreed to like, hey, because they would be the type of drunks be like, they want to challenge themselves. You know, they every time I would see them, they would always be trying to outdo each other.
Really?
They,
JPC wants to know if she ever hit on you. We know she was flirty. We saw her flirty with the cops. Was she ever flirty with you?
like she would like I don't know if maybe I took that like you know like I said my ex-wife lived there at the time with me. We were separated, but she knew my ex-wife and I were separated. She's always asked me, oh, do you guys live together? Why do you guys live together? And I said, well, we have kids. And so she never came across flirty to me. Kind of made me feel like maybe she wasn't attracted to me, like I was butt ugly, which I'm not. But you know, I don't think she. Maybe because my ex-wife was in the house, but I wish my ex-wife was here. She probably had have more stories like about seeing them, but she never spoke to Sarah. You know, I was always the one outside, but she never flirted with me. I mean, she would always touch the side of my arm, like when she would like be happy asking me for things. She would always get flirty and touch the side of my arm, like when she wanted something. You know.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people were saying about her. You're the third. Well, you're the third or fourth person that said that. That's interesting. And I think she got off on talking down to people is what I believe.
I just thought, you know, like that thumbnail you put of her reaching over the did you see the video with the cops camera when with the other cops camera and when he took the police tape out and she was like, why do you have to get the police tape out?
I don't
Did you
think so.
There's another video with the Hispanic or whatever nationality the other cop is through his point of view. There's two videos with the black cop and then with the other cop. It's online. There's another girl who has it.
Okay, I'll have to go look for it then.
There's another person on YouTube that always has those videos, but it's through that officer's point of view. It's through his body cam. But when he grabs the police tape to tape it around the trees, Sarah's
Yeah.
like, "Oh my God, you really have to do that? All we're paying is hide and seek." And then she keeps asking him for water, and then when he finally says that you can have water, she walks over and she's like mumbling to herself. She's like, I'm literally going to go to jail for hide and seek. And you can hear her say it if you listen closely. But
Are you talking about when she was leaning against the building to go lean down and get water?
no. When the cop came over and put the tape around the tree, she kept asking him for water. And then when he said, yeah, you can have water. And she walks past him and she says, I'm literally going to go to jail for playing hide and seek. You can hear it through his body cam.
Oh, okay.
So she gets water the first time through your thumbnail. And then she hops over the bush, and then the lady cop comes over, and then she goes back and gets more water,
Yeah.
which is very strange. But
Did you ever call 911 on her?
no, I didn't. I was, to be honest, I was doing like not shady things like around. I was just, like I said, heavily. I was heavily using drugs, and I didn't want any involvement with any police there because I'm not
Yeah.
gonna like ruin my high, but I was always doing not the right things there. Like I don't want to get into detail all the stuff I was doing. Like so with Sarah, the thing that I noticed about her is when I talked to her, she had really really bad breath. She never seemed to want to like brush her teeth. Her breath like reeked like it just and this is the truth. Like she just really stunk like her breath.
Okay.
That's why
That's
some of the
something. Go
What's
ahead.
that?
No, go ahead.
And then I don't know if you guys are ever probably figured this out or okay, so maybe you guys can you guys get access to her like past dental work or I don't know.
No, I think there's the what do you call that site? The law won't let you get. It's all private.
Well, if you ever get like if you
Medical.
guys is your friend Sam, is she a lawyer? The one that's on here?
I'm a licensed private investigator with a legal education.
Yeah, so you might be able to get more information, like, so you can prove that I'm telling the truth regarding.
Can't
Okay, so
can't get
uh,
health records. Can't get health records.
oh, okay. Because there was one thing about her that every time I would look at her, it would always turn me off about what she had in her mouth. Okay, so you know when someone's missing teeth and they have that retainer.
Yeah.
So I was talking to her about my sister. My sister had a root canal, and Sarah's like, whatever you do, get the root canal. Don't have her pull her tooth because she's gonna pull her tooth and she's not gonna be able to afford the implant or the bridge or the. And I said, she's like, and then so on the side of her gums. Okay, so it'll probably be like 3 teeth back from her front teeth. She has a retainer that has 2 teeth in it.
Oh.
So it's like one of those retainers that's because you can actually get a bridge or an implant that drills into your gums, or you can get like this retainer that you have to put in your mouth.
Yeah.
So she was just telling me, whatever your sister does, don't tell her not to pull her tooth because she's gonna regret it. Because I had my tooth pulled when I was in my early teens, and I had a gap, and it was making me really self-conscious for years. And so like I don't know if this stuff you guys can probably.
I don't know. I'm looking for while I'm looking for questions. And by the way, let me put this up. Thank you so much, Dan Russell. Sarah asked the police a few times for water, and they refused when they were talking to her outside the apartment. Yeah, I don't think they were allowed to give her anything, and then nobody had any bottled water at first. Yeah. Thank you, Dan, for your super chat. Um, anybody? Okay, go ahead and just if you can think of any stories, let's hear them. Tyler.
1 second. Yeah, I'm trying to get. Sorry, I have a bulldog that's dealing with some eye issues. Bulldogs get these. They're called like third eyelids when they're scraping their eye. Their eyelids look like a bubble on the bottom.
Oh, bless his heart. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm trying to have him not touch it because I put medication on. Sorry. So I moved out of there. I'm trying to think when I moved out of there. What year that was? Either 2018. I moved over to Utah, and I went into a rehab program here for like 2 years. But like I said, did you guys? I mean, a lot of the stories I probably have of her when I first met her, you guys probably won't believe me anyway.
Well, I honestly, I think it's Sarah Boone. We'd probably believe just about anything you said. You refer to her as being a tweaker, and I almost wonder. You know how she has that little she has this thing that she does with her face. It's a tick. And I noticed when I don't know if you guys have seen. I haven't put it on my channel because I didn't want to steal it off that other chick's channel. But she had gotten a video of when Sarah was on Nickelodeon when she was younger. She kind of has the same tick when she was a kid. So because and she was doing it in court too, and we know she wasn't on anything in court, but it's just I guess it's just I don't know what you call that. It's like
Nickelodeon.
She was on a Nickelodeon TV show when she was younger. Yeah.
Yeah, but I seen that Nickelodeon clip, and I'm kind of like hesitant that was her because that girl kind of looks way too pretty to be her. I don't know. She has the same name, and I know Nickelodeon's in Florida, and they have like all their areas there, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It was ever proven that was her, like that was Sarah Boone?
I'm pretty sure it was her because I'm pretty sure it was her. It
Because-
looked to me, it looked just like her. I've got her pictures of her when she was in high school.
Yeah, because when I
did.
So she was always telling me that she was serious. Okay, the reason I know she was probably a tweaker, she was showing me photos of 2000. She was showing me photos of 2014 and 15 when she was really heavy, and she lost a lot of weight. And that you only lose a lot of weight like that if you smoke meth. And if you notice that the one time I did talk to George was probably in his late 30s when I.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
late
he was in
30s
his
when I.
early 40s.
Well, when I met him, he was in his late 30s, but he had no teeth. Like I refer to his teeth as stubbles. Like when a baby starts having their teeth come in, their little stubs.
Yeah.
George's teeth were all like that. Like when you're a grown adult and you have no teeth, you're a meth head. So I think that he was a meth head, and maybe when she met him, I don't know, but like I said, she was always I was always on dating sites, and the one time I did see her on a dating site, I mentioned it to her, and then, but I don't know if you guys can ever find some of her old profiles from when she's on dating sites.
No, I think
Probably not.
you probably have to join to get on there, but that would be funny though.
Well, I was on this
To
one called
read her
Plenty of.
profile would be hilarious. That would be hilarious.
Well, yeah, I was on this one called Plenty of Fish, and I seen her because it shows you the people that's 1 mile from you.
Okay, guys, if you're on Plenty of Fish, if you have a subscription, and you want to send me
Well, I don't think
the
she's on there
link.
now.
Well, yeah, that's true. It would have already come off because she probably had a paid for subscription. That's right. You got to pay for it, don't you?
No, for the men, I mean, well, back then you never had to pay to get messages or anything. And then now, I guess if you join it now, you have to pay to receive messages. I mean, back then you didn't have to pay for anything.
So she could still. I don't know. That's funny. So,
I
so I think that she mentioned, when she was talking about the CPR thing, when she was talking to 911, and I think also the first responders, that he had been losing his teeth. She kept mentioning that, and because she was kind of trying to drive that into because she felt like it was a medical issue is why he died. It had nothing to do with the fact that she had suffocated him.
The one thing about her is she okay, so she was like kind of like OCD. She said she had told me that she didn't like to kiss on. She's like, in my relationships, I don't like to kiss on the lips. I just like to kiss on the cheek. So I don't think she gave him CPR because um I don't see her putting her lips on him because I think the way she talked about him is kind of like she was repulsed by him. He was kind of disgusting to her.
Really?
And every time I seen him and I talked to him, he just scared the hell out of me because his eyes were so black, and he was the type of guy that would be talking to you, and you would have a conversation with him, but he would be talking to someone else in another conversation. Like he wouldn't be on the same length as you,
Yeah.
And then he would just stare in the sky and just walk away from you. The one conversation I did have with him, but I don't understand when they said he was always outside. I never seen him outside with her son ever.
You didn't. What about? Did you ever see him? Did you see them outside, other than when he yelled at her that time? Did you see him outside fighting at all?
They were always in the back. Okay, so they did a lot of stuff in their back of the property. Like one time, I don't know who got in trouble, but somebody out there had like a fire out there. Like they made like a little bonfire or
Oh.
something. I don't know if it was them because they had another neighbor that was next door to them. That was always doing things, but there was always screaming coming from their side all the time. They were screaming, but like I said, when I was like heavily using, I would be up all night and then I would sleep during the day. So there's probably never I seen her like early in the morning like tweaked out. But when I first met her, I think she was like I said, a tweaker. She was on meth. That's just what I can probably bet everything she was probably on meth.
Yeah. And see, I don't know how to tell that either because I've never been around it, so I don't know.
No, because okay, so when you're on meth, like you're talking like a million miles a minute and you don't sleep, you're just, and she was always asking for things. She came over to my house all the time, late at night. Like the last time she came over was at 10:30 at night. And asking me for help to move her bed. She said, "Can you help me move my bed and put it in this location?" I said, "No, I can't. I'm not, I just got, annoyed with her. She was always asking me for things.
To help you move a bed. So she was
No, she
easy.
can't.
She'd jump to ask you. She'd jump over to say, "Hey, can you help me do this?" But if you just needed a ride up to the vet for your dog, because supposedly she's a dog lover, she wouldn't help you. That's crazy.
No, she had I don't know if in the video they said she had two dogs. One was blind and one was deaf.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck, when she had those dogs, but I never seen her with any pets there.
There's pictures of them when they were on the outside in the back, but I saw them, and then they were in the window too, and the cops were there. Maybe when you know what? Maybe she didn't get the dogs until, well, no, I think they've been there the whole time. I don't know.
Well,
I
she
know
would
what I
always
wanted to ask you. Oh, go
Well,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, I want you to, if you remember something, tell us.
I was just gonna say that I never was in her house. That's one thing I can say. The only time we would have a conversation when I would be out with my dog, or she would come over asking me for things. But I would say she probably asked me, and she probably owes me at least $22. Um, I guess when my ex-wife moved out, we got divorced. My ex-wife moved out, and it was just me there, and I couldn't afford to live there. My ex-wife had got into some kind of argument with her because she came over late at night, and um, my ex-wife didn't know who she was, and they got into kind of an argument, and that's the last time I talked to her.
It's weird that she like. Did you hear in the interrogation they were talking about how they wouldn't let her go to the bathroom? Somebody wouldn't let her in the apartment to go to the bathroom.
In that day, well, I don't think I was even, yeah, 'cause she got arrested in 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I wasn't even
2020.
there. I didn't even put it together that, like, when she was in interrogation and they were talking about like going to the bathroom. I wish I had that video or seen it. You know, they probably were out there probably for all day long because all these other people had to come and investigate the body. And I can see her going to, because I know the neighbor to the left to her, they hated her. Um, they did not like her because they were always screaming.
Yeah.
She would always talk to me. Okay, so her neighbor to the left of her, she always told me, she said, they keep pounding the walls. They keep pounding our walls. What I do? And I said, well, just pound the walls back. And she's like, I don't know. Every time I walk down the stairs to do anything, they keep pounding on the walls, on the side of the wall. And I said, well, pound back or go talk to him. I said, I would just go talk to him and say, why do you guys keep pounding? Because I know what she's talking. I have a neighbor that lives below me here, and every time I walk at night, he used to pound the ceiling, you know?
Yeah. Well, and
And
that's that you get that in an apartment complex, but I bet they heard him yelling and fighting and stuff too a lot.
okay, so like I said, when that guy Jorge, whoever moved in, I don't think she met him at that pool hall because that pool hall that they're talking about, it was kind of like a biker bar or whatever. Um, I don't know if I think she met him through a Dateline, to be honest with you.
Oh, you think so? Yeah, because I think Brian had said he thought she'd met him in a bar, but there's no telling. She could have met him on a site.
Yeah, but your friend, you know, your friend that does the investigations, that's probably she could probably tell you that Brian's the one that bailed Jorge out of jail every time he was arrested.
Brian bailed Jorge out?
Yeah, and that's not a lie. Like I'm telling you, it's not a lie. Go look it up. So Sarah had a no contact with George, so she couldn't bail him out. So she would always tell
Oh, yeah.
Brian to go do it for her
That makes
because she
sense.
told me that many times that she would always have to have her. She's like, now I have to have my ex-husband go bail him out.
That makes sense. I know one time his mom mailed him out, but the other times I couldn't tell. And I was going to get Casey because Casey was a bail bondsman. I was going to get her to tell us what what she knew about how that to read those forms and stuff because there was sometimes I couldn't tell at all.
You know, I could
Uh,
probably find Brian's number because she called Brian from my phone because okay, so she didn't have like a regular phone at first. You know how you use your phone through your Wi-Fi? It's like one of those text-free numbers.
mm-hmm.
So she's never had money ever. She never had a job. I think her alimony paid her rent. And she had like, and she was on EBT because, okay, so I was on EBT for like the first year, and I know I was telling her how to get on EBT and do all that. So she had EBT for like the first 3 years, and she got like I think $186 a month. So she was on welfare too. And you could probably find her under there collecting welfare. But she called Brian 3 times on my cell phone, and I could probably find his number if I go on the records because I still have the same phone.
I wouldn't call him though. I wouldn't bother. I don't want to bother him or the son.
No, I would call him. I would say, hey, 'cause I would just that's the type of person I would say, hey, Brian, this is I would just probably make up a name. Hey, I just wanted to see if that's your number.
Oh,
Uh, but like I said, I'm pretty sure he's probably thrilled that she's in jail.
I think so too. I think he's so relieved. His life has gotten so much easier because it's so for him. You know, you'd think usually it's easier to co-parent with somebody. You know, because they seem to get along fairly well. But the problem was the way she was, and for him, it's probably easier to take care of his son now that he knows he has a structure. There's more structure there.
Well,
Gayla asked if you knew Eli and Kim because she mentioned them Is that Eli and Kim that live
No,
next door to
the
her?
people that she was like mentioning the thing, Eli and Kim, Eli and Kim. The thing
Yeah.
is, the people that she's talking about, it was kind of like a college town too. Like a lot of college kids would move in, they would stay 6 months and leave. So next door to her and behind her, people was coming and going all the time. Like there was always moving trucks. So I don't know who, I heard a guy do an interview with some guy who played the guitar, but if he's that, he said he was like 19 or talking to that guy Scott. So
Yeah,
I
his
don't
name's
probably even
Vinny.
know who he was. Yeah, the thing
He
is,
lived he lived in the apartment complex. So the apartment to the right of her was those were the two there was a downstairs apartment and upstairs apartment, and he lived on the downstairs one.
yeah, because if you come out of Sarah's door and you make a right, that's where they live probably. And if you go like one over, there was my place. I was on number 7. So I think I don't know. Me and Sarah probably like clicked at first because my ex-wife, I would kind of compare my ex-wife to Brian because my ex-wife treated me like how Brian treated her, like always needing something.
Mhm.
Because when I was like living alone, I was kind of struggling at first, and I was always asking her for help and whatever. So
Mhm.
maybe that's why we kind of like related with each other. But with
Yeah.
me, I was open about my addiction and me. She never once asked me for like, hey, can I buy some like Viking? Can I buy some like oxys from you or whatever? Because I never talked to her about it. Because after the whole dog thing, I never told her anything personal because I didn't trust her.
Yeah, it seems like if she knew you were using drugs and she was a drug user, she would have asked y'all would have that would have been a topic of
No, no,
conversation,
no.
surely.
She did know I was like how I told you guys I was an active um user, like I was in recovery. I told her that I was using painkillers since I was in my 20s. So she knew all that. I didn't tell her my daily like routine, but she knew I was taking these drugs. That's why like I know if someone's taking oxys like me, they're gonna ask me for them or they're gonna ask me for this drug. Um, so I don't know. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that she was on meth. But like she did ask me one time if I ever because I refer to meth as like ice because in Hawaii they call it ice. But um, I don't know. I always figured she was on meth because that's the way she acted when I first met her.
Right. What
Yeah, but
about
if
did you ever see bruises on her or anything?
with Sarah is like I said, I wish I could show you a picture of what my mom looked like before she died. My mom was lived in Hawaii her life, but she looked just like Sarah, like bony, white lady with short hair. I think my mom had the same kind of haircut as Sarah too. And my mom always had like bruises and like veins popping out because she was like a skinny crackhead. Um, Sarah just had really bony arms and everything. Um, but she, like I said, the reason I don't think she was drinking when I first met her because she was never like jumpy and happy, like asking me for things. She would always come across like kind of like sad, like, hey, can you help me with this and that?
Woe is me type thing. Yeah. I'm just
And
curious though if she I mean in its interaction in the time that you interacted with her at all, did you ever feel like she was being other than when you saw him talk to her that way that time? Did anything else give you any signs that you felt like she was abused?
oh no, because I got okay, so my ex-wife is more like with my kids, she's more like the stern person. Like my kids kind of walk over me, ask me for everything because they
Yeah.
know I'm not an abusive person and I'm not gonna ever hit them when they were little. I get the feeling with Sarah that she was more the dominant and then she would kind of like tell him what to do. So I don't think, like I said, I don't think she was ever abused by him. I think when they fought, it was kind of like a mutual battle.
Yeah.
And I think like she probably promised him something to get in that suitcase because all the injuries that he had, I think, was probably from the stairs. And or either this, I think she either choked him and thought he was dead and threw him in the suitcase and probably dragged him down the stairs. But that wouldn't make sense why he would wake up and say, "Hey, Sarah, let me out of here." He would be pissed. Um,
Mhm.
but also maybe prior to that video, he was probably bitching at her, say, "Hey, bitch, get me the fuck out of here." And then he's like, "Okay, maybe if I talk to her calmly, she'll let me out of here."
Yeah.
But like I said, maybe he had two fingers below. But like I said, that guy wasn't the brightest person at all.
You picked up on the fact he wasn't very.
Well, no, because I know when he got that so-called job at Ace Hardware, she would always say, and it broke his heart when he lost his job. He lost his job there because he was damn alcoholic and he never went to work. They closed that location down because because when Home Depot and all these other businesses put up shop like down the street, they closed up everything.
And I think COVID had a lot to do with it too, though.
Yeah, luckily I moved back here, but yeah, I could probably send you something to your emails. Like I have all my like old, receipts from when I paid them. I could probably show you just so you know I'm not like lying to you because I'm always like
I believe you. I'm not. I don't have any question about that now because you've said enough things that ring true.
and I have several photos of my dog that I took outside in the back of the yeah, I do have several photos of him, and you could probably match it up at that property.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna go to there's a chat over here to the side. Do you see where it says private chat?
Yeah. I mean, let me see this thing. It's so weird how the thing's finally let us talk, but
I'm
I'm
gonna
not
put my
able to
email.
see any of the chat. It's so weird.
Oh, okay. Well, if you go into if you go into any description of any video of mine, my email address is in there. Because I wouldn't mind having some people, because I feel like what's going to happen is now that we've talked to you, there's going to be some people that come back and there's going to be lots of questions that I'm going to think about after we've gotten off the stream here. So if you can email me, it'd be awesome. Then I could get back in touch with you.
I have several photos with my dog and then also with my kids because I have two kids. Well, my kids are older now. They're what, 21, and I have my daughter's gonna be 20 soon. Well, yeah, she just turned 20 on the 8th, so they were younger back then. But yeah, I have photos with when we're in the back.
Do you so you think did George, was he really tiny guy? He was because he does look small around the officers.
Yeah, that to be honest, like I think he was like 5 foot something. But with the thing that I got with him is like maybe he was like abusive towards her behind closed doors, but I didn't get that vibe. Like only that one time when he yelled to have her come, but it was like very late at night when she was outside talking to me.
Yeah, I think I kind of wonder sometimes if he didn't have to pull her back because she seemed very talkative to everybody in the neighborhood.
Well, yeah, I know the one thing she did ask me for that she got really pissed. She came over the first time she met me and said, "Hi, um, can I have your Wi-Fi password?" That's the first thing she asked me.
Oh
And
my God.
I said, "Who are you?" She's like, "Oh, we just moved in right over there. My name's Sarah." And I said, "No, I don't." And I told her I didn't have Wi-Fi. And then the very next day, she came up and she said, "Well, if you don't have Wi-Fi, then what is this Thai Brutes or like that's your name on my name was like part of my name on the Wi-Fi handle." And I said,
Oh.
"That's not me." I always, but I just thought it was very weird for someone to ask for my password and I don't even know them.
Right. And just randomly go, "Do you mind?" Like instead of saying, "Do you mind if I
Yeah,
use
because
your
I don't know
Wi-Fi?"
if yeah, because what if she's gonna look at child porn? I don't know what she's gonna do because that's connected to my house.
Exactly.
And she's asked me for inappropriate things. I'm trying to think of everything, but my memory's bad, but I probably will think of it. But I know for a fact that she didn't like my dog, and even though she acted like she did like him, she would never touch him. And if I'll show you the photos of my dog, he's really cute. He's like, he's an English bulldog, but they have those ugly, cute faces.
Oh, I love English bulldogs. They're adorable, and they don't ever come across as mean to me. Did she ever go around? Was she walking around the neighborhood half the time with no bra on?
Well, the one thing about her is I don't know when she did the interview, you can tell she had her bra on, but she would always walk around when she came into my house. She always was barefoot, and she always wore I'm trying to think of the shorts. They were like jean shorts, but she was really bony all the time.
Yeah.
I regret because when I meet people, I always try to like be a people pleaser and like when she first moved in, I was always like, "Hey, do you need anything?" And that was my mistake by offering her anything if she needed it.
No, and
Um,
she tried to take you up on that.
no, I did give her a few things that she probably, whoever dumped her house probably threw it away. I know I gave her a microwave, and I gave her. Trying to think of the other thing I gave her. Um, I had bought a new microwave, and I said, "Do you need a microwave?" And she's like, "Okay," but she was acting like she didn't like. She was acting like it was like Goodwill stuff, and it wasn't. It was a really nice microwave. And like I said, she would always make herself look like she was better than me all the time.
Yeah, that was her. That was her MO.
Like that car she has, that Kia, that was Brian's old car.
That makes
She said
sense.
that because when they moved in, that Kia, whatever that car is, a Sorento or something, that car was moving all her stuff from, because they didn't have a U-Haul. They were moving stuff from that car back and forth, back and forth. And they had, I guess he lived close because they had the mattress on the top of that thing tied down with rope. So yeah, if you ever, I don't know if you can find the records of that car, but it'll probably show you that it was in his name at one time.
Um, Gayla said, didn't another neighbor say he thought she was tweaking? I don't know. I don't know if I heard that. I
No,
know that the guy Benny next door, I know that he said he was the one that played the guitar, the young guy next door. I know he said they were drunk all the time. It kind of makes sense though, because when you look at the 911 calls, Tyler, there were no 911 calls. There was one in the summer of 2018. And then for a whole year, nothing. No 911 calls. Then all of a sudden in the summer of, 2018, and then in 2019, I think it was July that it started, or June that it started, more call. They started to call again. And then it was like back to back to back to back to back. And it was just weird how there was a bunch of them all of a sudden.
I can probably bet anything. If I was still living in an apartment complex when George died, she probably would have came over, and I think she called Brian to ask him to get rid of the body. To be honest, I think she wanted, because if you really cared about this guy, you would have called 911 when you first noticed he was dead. I think she would have wanted Brian to get rid of the body for her,
Yeah,
because
we were thinking that too.
and she probably would have came over and said, "Hey, Tyler, can you help me dump this suitcase?" And there's nothing in it. This is help me get rid of this suitcase. And my dumbass probably would have said, "Okay, I'll dump it for you." And I probably would have just carried it, threw it in the dumpster for her, not thinking a body was in there. And then
I
my
don't know. I think
fingerprints
you
would have
might have
been all
figured it
over
out.
that.
No, I think you probably would have figured that out. But yeah. So she just so I'm trying to think of all the questions that I want to ask you, because I know there's going to be more after we get off. Do you feel like she walked around taking advantage of people all the time? I mean, how many other people did you see her hanging out with and talking to around the neighborhood?
Well, like I said, that neighborhood, well, in the area, that's like at the time it was like kind of the cheapest place to rent. I think our rent was like close to like 1,000 for that place. It was pretty cheap in that area, and
Yeah.
I always seen her. There was a lot of Hispanic people and like college kids, but she only bothered me, and then I didn't see her. Like I said, I didn't see her outside talking to that many people. When I heard that she got into it with somebody in the property that ran, I don't know what they were talking about in an interview, that there was two families up there and Sarah got into it with them.
Yeah, something about they felt like she had, what did they say? They felt like she was hit, or one of somebody's boyfriend was hitting on her or something, and she said something to somebody about it, and it started a big hoopla.
Not to be like judgmental, but I don't find Sarah remotely even attractive at all. I just find her like not even attractive. So I don't know what guys see in her.
Yeah, well,
But yeah, I honestly believe that she'll probably spend the rest of her life in jail, because I think she's too proud to take a deal. Because, like I said, when she talks to me, she always acts like she has like a Bentley. She always says, "This is what I used to have," and everything. She'd always talk about her family too, how she came up with privilege all the time. Um,
oh
she
really?
ne- she never mentioned her like her brothers or anything. I didn't even know she had brothers until I watched like the video of her talking about her brothers.
Yeah, and then the one is, I guess, been in and out of jail, kind of a he likes children, and then there's another one that is a good, seems like a upstanding citizen. He's a Marine, but he lives in Altamont Springs. So, wow, Tyler, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us. We really appreciate it.
Well, like I said, I can email you, and then you can call my number, or I can send you the photos.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
No, but what I don't know what photos you want, because I can probably show like my pace, my
Don't
the
send me any
pain.
pictures of your children. Just like if
No,
you
no, no,
like
no.
of
I
your
was just
dog.
gonna. Yeah, I have a few photos in the back of the property. Um, I used to walk him all around because it used to be nice to walk around there in the back, because they before, when I first moved in, they did a lot of changes to that place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to think what I could send you, or even call somebody to prove that I live there. I don't know. I don't want you guys to think I'm like full of it, because I wouldn't waste your time.
No, I don't. I mean, I think that you. I don't
No,
know.
some people might discredit me because as soon as I talk to you guys, they said, "Oh, I used to be an active user and I'm in recovery." Some people might think I'm like full of it. Some people judge people
Yeah,
by.
that's true. That's true.
So,
I know people get crazy on here. Well,
I always,
Bama says thank you. We believe you. Thank you so much.
and I think
Does
if I was going to
anybody?
lie about something, I probably would lie about something more like, you know, fun to talk about. Like, oh, I used to live next door to Wade Wilson or something, and he was a crackhead.
Do you know what Brian does for a living? I thought I saw that somewhere one time, and I don't know.
Well, I don't. She never talked about him, but I.
Oh, I lost you, Tyler.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah,
By the
like I
way,
said.
the connection's been way better since you changed it over.
Yeah, I was just saying, when I first seen him, I thought that was her father, because he has like a more of a, he's like really huge compared to her, and he looks way older than her.
You think so? Yeah.
I just
Because
thought it was her. I think that guy is probably like pretty much, she had him around his finger. She could have done anything, and he would have, but he was probably just sick of her.
I think I heard some resentment in Brian's voice when he was talking about George and Sarah. He did say that she wanted to party all the time and everything. She didn't want to be married anymore. She didn't want to have kids. She wanted to go out and party or whatever. But yeah, that is kind of interesting that you said that, because I've always kind of wondered if she had not gotten involved with George, if Brian would still be in her life or would have been in her life.
Yeah, it's kind of like when somebody.
Cut off again. Oh, y'all are saying such nice things.
Oh, can you still hear me?
Yeah, that's better.
I was just saying, in Utah, there's a lot of Mormons here, and when they don't want to become Mormons no more, they kind of want to go crazy and party all the time. And
Oh,
maybe
really?
Sarah was like tied down the whole time with Brian, because I didn't get a vibe that he was kind of like more of a, he was more of like a homebody. He wanted to stay home. And
Yeah, yeah.
you can still go out and have fun and not like get drunk, but like, I just think that she probably wanted to relive her high school days, and just go
Could
out and
be.
party.
Could be.
Because I don't know where she met that guy, but I'm pretty sure she met him through the dating line. Because, like I said, when I seen her profile there, um, I wish I would have had those photos, because I had photos with her long hair.
She had long hair back then?
She had a lot of photos on there that weren't even recent photos. They were like years ago. And then she had one with her short hair.
What was the bar? What was the name of the bar across the street that they always talk about? I don't know the name of it. They were saying I should use that as a name to vet you, but we all believe you, so it doesn't matter. But I don't remember the name of the bar across the street. Oh, I think we lost Tyler again. If you can hear me, Tyler, Laura says, thank you, Tyler, and best of luck with your continuing recovery. That's very sweet of you. Is it Laria? Am I saying that right? Your name, Laria? Joe Bailey says, we believe you, buddy. No worries. Thea says, I think Brian loved her and only broke up because she couldn't hold it together. That and George, though. I agree with you. I think he was in love with her. Yeah. Even though she was abusive, Cindy, yes. I can hear you now, Tyler.
No, you think he was still in love with her?
Yeah, we think Brian was still in love with Sarah.
Yeah, that kind of makes sense because, like, when my ex-wife moved out and she always needed something, I would probably be always there to help her whenever she needed help, you know?
Yeah.
Because I loved her as a person, but not like I wanted to get back together with her. Maybe he just loved her as a person, you know?
Yeah.
And I think he just probably felt bad for her.
And he was trying to, do what was right for his son too, to keep her in their son's life as much as possible. I mean, a lot of parents wouldn't have put up with her the way that she was doing. They would have just said, "That's it. You can't see our son anymore." But he tried to work with her on it, and he did it for the sake of his son, I think. Well, unless he still hadn't gotten over her.
Well, the thing
Advertising
about
and
her
marketing. He was in
son,
advertising marketing.
yeah, her son, she never really even talked about her son to me at all.
Hmm.
Like I didn't even know she had a son for the longest time until I was like, because
Perugia says she definitely didn't behave as if she was tied down with Brian. You want me to ask about his size and weight again? Susan, is your last name Boone, or are you being funny? I heard this just a few minutes ago. What, Sharon? What you talking about there, Sharon? Oh my gosh, I swear I heard this just a few minutes ago. What'd you hear a few minutes ago? Tyler, you back? Oh, we lost him.
I think Tyler dipped.
I think he disconnected by accident. He seems very nice.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate him getting up. Tyler, if you're listening, thank you so much for getting up and doing that. That's awesome. It's, as much as we've been on this case and everything, it's like just to hear somebody that saw more than what we know going on over there, because it's been 4 freaking years. I haven't been doing the case for 4 years, but I've been in depth with it. I mean, that's all I've been focused on for the last several months. So it's like to hear something outside of what we already hear from law enforcement and everything. It's nice to be able to kind of go, oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, with how long some of my cases have been hanging around, it's like you do all the work for them in the first year and a half, and 5 years down the road, it finally goes to trial and you're back to zero. You have to start over again because you can't remember all the things, So to find somebody that has that good of a memory from her complex, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Thank you, Lindra, for your super chat. Thanks for the interesting discussion. Yeah, absolutely. God, you guys are being so nice tonight. Thank you so much. What do you think, Sam? I'm totally in belief of the box of wine. The box of wine, it has Sarah written all over it.
We know that. Oh, excuse me. I don't think she smoked meth. I think it's possible he did. But let's just say that based on information I'm aware of, I don't think that's true.
I think the way she acted, well, she has an odd personality.
Oh,
so
she's not like a regular person. I mean, you guys have seen her in court, You've read her letters or had them read to you, so
she just, even like when you look at her on the body cam, even when she didn't look well, I'm trying to think, we have a body cam of when she was sober. Well, yeah, we have the one of when after he was found dead, but I mean,
Cindy,
she was.
You're right that she does have a third lawyer now.
Yeah, and he's connected very closely with Owens. They go way back.
Yeah.
if anybody's read anything about these two, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Linger, am I saying your name right? Linger123. Can I just call you Lenny? No, I'm just kidding. Can I just call you Sam? Talks to the peoples because I know they've been wanting to talk to you. Let me go grab. I am badly in need of a Diet Coke. I'll be
Okay.
right back.
Okay. Hi, chat. How are you? Does anybody have anything they want to talk about? Yes? No? So, let's see. We have, hi, Bema. So we have Sarah's, we've an extra, hi, Laura. We have an extra hearing for Sam, or I'm Sam, for Sarah, because she's added on this third lawyer. And it looks like, what's the wildest thing I've investigated? Well, honey, I work in criminal defense. So yes, I'm here on the defense side. That doesn't mean I agree that everybody is not guilty. What is the wildest thing I have investigated?
And what are you talking about? What you're working on right now?
Somebody asked me a question about what the wildest thing I had ever investigated was. And I was just trying to think if there was anything that would not be just horrific to talk about, and I honestly can't think of one right now. Like the stuff
Dominique
I
said-
investigate is the stuff of nightmares. Let me just tell you that.
I know. Hey, we know you're off work and everything, but hey, can you talk about work?
This is my life. You guys, you know, it's funny. Attorneys get a bad rap for everything, I feel like. And some of it's well deserved. But I will say this, the attorneys that I work with, they will call me, text me 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. So they may not always be in their office from 9 to 5. And I don't keep 9 to 5 hours either.
Mm-hmm.
But we're always kind of working. Like when it strikes us, like if I get up early and I'm like, yes, let's go, I can knock out 4 or 5, in 4 or 5 hours, I can knock out 4 or 5 days worth of something.
Yeah.
So it's like work almost never turns off. So,
Florida can.
I don't know. I don't think anybody has any other questions for me.
Do you ever think someone was guilty and they were acquitted? Did you already answer that one?
I had one that was acquitted that I honestly, to this day, have no idea who did it. Most of the others, there's not really a question. And it comes back to the fact that our cell phones are providing so much information. People are constantly filming, sending messages. People are on video surveillance. It's not, you don't get so many whodunits anymore. It's just like, okay, how do I mitigate this mess?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's not a lot of investigative going on at the moment. It's more like fact checking the police in a way, trying to make stories match up, trying to find inconsistencies in stories, things like that. And by the end of the year, I will be an expert in juvenile murder cases. So, that'll be a fun discussion.
That's the sad part when you talk about when you tell about the younger kids and everything. That's when it gets rough. I bet there's a lot of that.
I have teenagers sitting in jail for murder right now. It's just crazy.
She worked with when you said you were telling him about, did you tell him about the crazy guy that killed all those people and is in jail?
Which one?
I'm trying to figure out how to say this.
Oh my god.
Was he the homosexual guy?
Yeah. Okay. So that was that's probably the oddest case maybe that I've ever had. And it's old. It was old. So sometime like in 2004, a man named Steven Lorenzo, a gay guy, that lived down in Seminole Heights, which is here in Tampa, and he was very much into sexual sadism and was on all of these AOL chats and stuff and meeting guys and part of this whole scene. Well, he got this reputation and ended up on the DEA's radar for he was ordering GHB and he was drugging guys, right? He taking them out of the clubs and drugging them and stuff, and then allegedly doing horrible things to him. So the DEA indicts him, and he's got like 9 counts of stuff. Well, during that investigation, they figure out there's 2 other gay guys who are dead and missing, one of whom has never been found. So he went to trial in federal court in 2007 on 9 counts, only one of which connected to the death of those 2 guys. All the rest were for sexual violence, with assisted drugs. The words. So what happened then was he was sitting in federal jail for like 12 years. 12 years. And the county decided it was time to go ahead and indict him for 2 counts of felony murder. So he's never getting out ever. But the state thought it'd be fantastic if they just went ahead and brought charges against him and his co-defendant. And so he popped up, and guess what? He was indoctrinated into the sovereign citizen world.
That's why I told her, y'all, that we would definitely want to report on her case on that.
Oh my
That'd be
God.
great. That needs to be the next case we do, I swear.
He was one of the he actually, this is going to sound really weird and you guys might really, really hate it. But by the end of his time here, what happens to me to some extent is the person that I know in the jails or, through my meetings and conversations with them, that those people are usually a different person than the one that committed the crime. And so there's more and more distance, especially as the time goes by. And he wanted to go to death row, but he spent 4 years effing around with the county and the circuit court, playing with all the sovereign citizen stuff, knowing he had all the time in the world to do it and putting the rest of us through hoops. I mean, he sued the judge. He tried to sue the state's attorney. It was just craziness. But when I got ready to leave the law office, I was working at it. I wrote to him and I said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know I'm leaving." And, I appreciate how professional and kind you've been, because I told my boss, I'm like, "You need to take me to the jail right now because I must speak to this man immediately." So when I left, he wrote me this really great letter that my dad said was like the best reference letter ever. And then after his case finally wrapped up, he ended up he confessed at the end. The judge is furious. You can see that on YouTube, how mad he is. But so now he's on death row next to Wade Wilson, and he got he got death penalty, so that will come before the federal courts. He's in an appeal process right now, and I saw he's representing himself. And I thought, oh my God. Yeah, he's one for a different topic on a different day.
It sounds like he's just kind of like, he knows it's no use. I'm just going to play this thing out. And maybe I'll get a couple of free sodas or something out of me being my own lawyer.
Oh, no, completely. I mean, he's a control freak for one. He loves to make people do things that he wants them to do. He likes messing with the system because he's got nothing better to do. He's not stupid. But he's like, yeah, take me to death row. I'm 66 years old. I want my own room.
I want my own room.
Oh my gosh, just some craziness.
Okay, so they're asking you questions about Sarah. Do you think Sarah's cell phone activity will show that she was up earlier or later than claims? For example, a step counter usage or other activity.
Oh, hi, Chrissy. Somebody's been watching some trials that understand about all the telltale ways the phone has. I think that her cell phone activity could potentially indicate that she was up later or earlier than she claims, because even if she wasn't talking to anybody, if she was connecting into sites, if her phone is pinging off of somewhere, it's possible. It's possible. But for step counter usage or other activity, I think that I doubt that she had a phone at that time that had that ability, those health, like on Apple, the health thing that will count your steps. But it's an excellent question, because if you did watch the Murdaugh trial, that got Alec. Oh, that was 50% of his conviction, was the amount he was using, or the traveling on foot he was doing with his phone. That was a huge part of them finding him guilty. So that's a good
Okay,
catch. Mhm.
so let's say we know her phone was there because she obviously had done some recording with it. If she'd taken the phone upstairs up to bed, and let's say, I don't know, if she just opened her phone up, she could have checked the weather. She would have had to have logged onto a site though, right? Or called somebody or text
Yeah.
somebody.
Well, what you don't know is, like, even if the phone is just in your pocket, if you have Bluetooth turned on, you are connecting to all kinds of things all the time.
Yeah, but if she was asleep, it could still be doing that though, right?
Yeah, it totally could. But you can tell the difference between when there's a passive hit versus an active one. It's weird. There's a couple of different kinds of phone stuff, and if you guys one day want to do a find out about the phone stuff, we could figure that out. Because
That would be
yeah, she had
fun.
an iPhone XS. Right. I don't know, April, if that one had the health stuff on it, the health app, and or if it was turned on.
Well, and you guys, John Sawicki is the one that worked on Sarah's trial, and Sam
Yeah.
knows him.
I do know
I know. I
John.
think it'd be cool if we could get him not just to necessarily talk about Sarah's trial, but to talk about a couple of things about how that works and what you could pick up and stuff. I think it'd be cool, even if we had like 20 minutes with him.
Yeah,
JS had
good
a
luck.
question.
I will try to reach him. I have to text him about 10 times before I can get a call back.
Okay.
He is super busy. He's currently sitting on like 5 of my cases. So I have constant. I mean, I see him. There's consistency in my acquaintanceship with him, but that man just travels from courtroom to courtroom.
Yeah.
Do
Do you
you
think
like
they screwed up the Miranda rights? JS wants to know. And do you think Owens?
Okay, so since Owens made that declaration on TV, I have gone back and watched and rewatched, and I'm not finding it. I'm not finding a Miranda violation. The only thing I found was weird was that she said, "Oh, you remember how we swore you in yesterday? I didn't do that today. I forgot. So, do you swear that everything you told me here was the truth?" So, yeah, is that enough to get it thrown out? No. Um, I think Owens is throwing a red herring out there. And that's to say a distraction. He's saying, "Oh, go over here and look at this while I go over here and quietly work at this, and then I'm going to slam you with it."
That
You
makes
know,
sense.
I think it's entirely possible to be a misdirection, because I say that because he has been a defense attorney for so long that he knows exactly what he is doing. You know what I mean? He
Oh
knows
yeah, he's a
exactly.
He's
Oh,
sneaky.
100%. I will say though that the lawyers I work with, they do not ever go on TV. They're often captured by court TV because almost all my cases are on live whatever. What's called law and crime.
Yeah.
Or court TV or the local news. So I catch a lot of them. I can see a lot of them, but none of them ever give statements. You can even see me in some of them.
So it's obvious he just took this for the celebrity of the case.
Owens?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what that was. Like what the motivation behind it was. Is he got a hero complex?
It could be. It's like, oh, instead of buying a Corvette, I'm just gonna, what is it they say about men when they hit a certain age? They start working out and go get a Corvette or something.
Yeah, midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Leah, that is not. I believe Carrie said at the beginning that she was reading the standard operating procedures and it was okay as long as it was in a standard issue holster.
Oh,
so
did
you not say that at the beginning of this, or was I watching something?
No, you're right. You're right. Keep talking. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No. I think that Carrie covered that in the beginning. She had the standard operating procedures.
Yeah, we were reading those.
Yeah.
And it was just a questionable thing as to whether or not.
Well, so Bama, it would need to be like a intimidation tactic that violates her rights in some way. I don't see it being that egregious.
Sam, the other night on the last stream that we did did really well too, got a lot of views. You made a comment on there, and I know you didn't mean to make it.
All right,
I know you.
Okay.
You said Sarah asked for an attorney. And man, were they jumping at you in the comments about that. She never asked for an attorney.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right, guys, listen. I work on my cases while I am also listening to YouTube in the background. So I had put Sarah's interrogations back on, and I was trying to listen a little more carefully while I was like moving around doing other stuff. And I thought at one point, and I am wrong, I have gone back now again, I'm wrong. I had thought that at one point she said something like, maybe I need a lawyer, but don't come for me, because I went back and I listened again and I listened again and I didn't hear that. So that's entirely possible that I have conflated her case with one of the ones I'm currently working on, because I also listen to a lot of audio, watch a lot of police interrogations for my own case. So I stand corrected. And I said I thought I might have heard it, and I did not, clearly. Or if I did, I made it up.
Jax, that's the first time I've heard of a powdered substance.
Okay, can we stop this for a second? Jax, Sarah is not in a cell. None of these women are in cells where she is. She is not in a cell. She is an open bay dorm with a bunk. It's like taking a giant gymnasium and stacking beds in there. She's not in a cell. There's no contraband to be found. And I saw Jumpsuit Pablo make a joke the other day, and I don't know if he thought it was true or not, that she was hiding 82 slices of cheese in her cell. No, just no. That's no. That's a no. That is not where she is. That's not how she's housed. There's just no way. So yeah, dorm, exactly. She's in an open dorm with she's got a little drawer or something for her belongings. She does not have a cell. She does not have contraband. She is not. Sarah's a lot of things, but she is not one to be stealing food, hoarding food, or having any kind of interactions with drugs coming in and out of that jail. No, she couldn't have hoarded cheese, you guys. Oh my God. Okay, if you want to believe she hoarded cheese, if it makes you happy to believe about the cheese, then you go right ahead and believe it about the cheese. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you.
I'm reading through the chats. I'm not
I'm
ignoring you.
seeing this too. Cheese like in a pillowcase. You guys, again. You
But yeah, so Leah says, and I mentioned this earlier tonight, the whole thing about the gun, but I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I mean, you heard what the procedure said. He could wear the gun if he felt like it was okay to wear it in there. There's no way that she felt threatened by his gun either. I don't think.
It's in the jail logs that she hoarded cheese. Okay. Justin, I believe you, but Sarah is not in a federal jail. She is in the Orange County jail, and she is in an open dorm, and getting into that jail to get a face-to-face with her, even as a professional, it took more vetting than it did for me to meet the president back in 2012. It just was a lot. So I don't know how she would be smuggling drugs in or out, or she'd be smart enough to run that whole situation. And I think she'd be ratting people out rather than taking advantage of it. But okay, the cheese thing, if she's stealing cheese, she's stealing cheese, but she's not in a cell.
Well, she's got to eat something for breakfast. She doesn't ever go to breakfast. She must not like oatmeal.
LW, I met Mr. Obama. I have the photo to prove it. Transparency gets all of her logs. Okay. Is the coroner's report public? You can request it. I don't know what they'll say. You'd have to go to the office of the medical examiner for that county and try to request it. We have these open sunshine laws, so you should be able, you are able technically to get a lot more information from the government than you will in other states. In the movies, they smuggle drugs up there, but yes, I know, guys. Okay, it's not the movies, though.
Look at what she said. Laria called her a hooker. Girl, you've been watching too many of my videos.
Yeah, right. My cooked grilled cheese. Oh, that's awful.
Don't ruin my cheese for me. I love my cheese. I love cheese.
Flacano, I'm not saying drugs are not coming into that facility. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that facility is one of the strongest county jails I've been to in the state of Florida. Anything's possible. I do not believe Sarah would be involved in the trafficking of drugs. No, LW, life is not TV. I'm so sorry. And no, it's not the Law and Order guy. Really sucks though, doesn't it?
But we can make that sound for you if you'd like. Doo-doo.
Boom, boom.
Doo-doo. We can't even do it right.
Sam, you really should read the inmate notes. Leah, my friend, I will when I
know. She sent me an email too.
I mean, yeah, you should see the stuff stacked up that needs to get done here. She had condiments hoarded in her legal mail envelopes too. Okay, they can get disbarred for that. Do you think there's an attorney who is willing to get disbarred over Sarah Boone? And here's what happens with jail mail. It comes in, it goes to a mailroom. It is scanned. The originals are kept by the mailroom, and the copies are provided to the inmates. And the reason they do that is so that things like drugs cannot be soaked into paper or stamps or contained within the mail. And they do it even for legal mail. They just aren't supposed to read the legal mail. And I followed up on this last week with one of my clients at the jail, and he said that anytime I bring him paperwork, they do the same thing. They take it away from him. It goes to be scanned, and then he gets the copy. Okay, they're going too fast. I'm not agreeing.
Sarah picks a lot of fights.
Okay,
Yeah,
Leah,
that's
I hear you that you are telling me things that are coming straight off the inmate notes. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you.
Tony said something about her getting into a lot of fights. You know, just in the part that in the IMS reports that I read, I was like, she doesn't care who she pisses off. She will go over your head as quick as she can in order to get what she wants. She just it just blows my mind that people like her. She is a total Karen. She is.
Soleil Souffle, it depends on the county jail.
Read the
Justin, there'll be more for you guys to learn about after this trial is over. I agree. There's she does not have drugs. I'm sure she's annoying. I have no doubt about that. This cheese thing. Okay, I'll look at the logs. She's not in a cell. She was caught quite a few times with cheese or with other contraband.
If you've got receipts, you got receipts. That's all I say. If there's receipts, I've got to get. I'm waiting on some more requests to come in so I can see.
LW, I heard that in the hearing where they were saying, look, you can have this option of going into the lockdown wing and you can have all your discovery all the time. You can be by yourself. And she didn't want to do that. I understand that. Flacon 2020, you do not directly get your mail anymore. Tammy, that's what the log said. In the inmate notes, Sarah picks a lot of fights with everyone with guards. Yeah. Leah, I hear you. Don't have to yell at me.
Leah's over here in all caps.
I know. She's like, you're not reading it. I hear you. I hear you. I have not had a chance to look at that. I have a full caseload of my own that is getting, more full by the day. So I'm just trying to catch up on the parts that are more important. Whether Sarah's hoarding cheese in her cell or not, or her bunk, is not really going to have an impact on her trial, which is what I'm most interested in. Oh, you're saying that it's not being snuck in. They're saying she's collecting stuff and then hiding it in legal mail. Okay, that would make more sense, Celestial Heather. Okay, Lisa Crow. I thought the issue with the interrogation was that they believed Sarah was not sober, just like the body cameo videos believe she was still under the influence. So again, I speculated that if she was an alcoholic who was frequently drunk in the morning and was going to a police station to be questioned about the death of her boyfriend, basically at her hands the night before, she probably did not walk in there stone cold sober. I'm just saying, that's a speculation on me. Voluntary intoxication in the state of Florida is not a defense. Period. End of story. You don't get to say, well, I was drunk and that's why I shot him. No, it doesn't work like that.
Okay. Well, okay. Y'all, please don't.
Leah,
Please don't put in the chat of other, like, talk about other channels and what they're providing, because it's like, you guys, it's like a slap in the face to me, honestly.
Okay, Leah.
We're almost at 3 hours, and y'all know I've got like a 2-hour attention span. I'm running low on gasoline, and somebody's up here talking about pickles. Deb, what you?
Leah says that I'm making her mad because I'm saying that the things aren't true. I'm saying based on personal experience, some of that information is most likely not true.
Yes, we all know it wasn't intentional. that you were doing that. I'm just saying, please don't do that. Yeah, you guys will probably get some of that stuff. I don't know. I guess a lot of people are requesting stuff on her case, and so it's taking time for me to get it.
It's got to be taking forever.
It took forever just to get that one body cam footage thing out. So, as soon as I do, I will put it up on my channel, but I wish I had them now.
I'll also just say there's a lot of interesting information that goes around any population in any jail, and you can hear some pretty wild things.
Well, and
But
there's a lot of crazy speculation going around just on this case because there's so much media on it.
yeah.
So next Thursday we've got a hearing at 1:30, but we're going to go. I'm going to be live at 1 p.m. So
Your time, Eastern Standard.
My time. Well, it's noon my time. It's 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Now y'all got me wanting a grilled cheese too. It sounds so good. I haven't eaten dinner.
Yes, we will look at the inmate notes, Leah. And I'm sure there's many more interesting things than the cheese. My question, though, is does any of this stuff have any effect on her trial or her case or what she's charged with? And the answer is no. What do I think? Oh, that's coming, JS. If I get my work done the way I was supposed to have done this morning, we will have that out to you within what, Carrie, like 24 to 48 hours.
What, for us to do that?
On that video.
I don't know because my uncle's is still in the hospital, and I've got to go over there Monday. He's having surgery on Tuesday. I don't know. I'm gonna try to get some other things out. If you don't mind, I'd rather do that one later.
Oh no, that's fine.
I still want to work on it, but
yeah, I want to get my written part done and to you. So, we're going to talk about the battered spouse defense, Jay. That's coming, and it's going to be a little bit different of a video, because Carrie and I are going to collab on it together, and I think you guys will enjoy it, and it's why it's taking a minute to get put together, because I'm doing research on one part of it and she's doing research on another part, and then we have to put the pieces together. And in case you haven't noticed, we don't live in the same state or the same city.
I will say that, and we've had totally different schedules this last couple of days.
Oh
too.
yeah, totally.
Totally different schedules.
Totally different schedules.
I just pinned. I'm gonna pin this. The link to that. You guys, earlier we were talking about. I think I showed y'all. I don't know if you were all on at the time, but no, I can't. Why won't it let me? Oh, because I'm not in YouTube. I just put a link in for the Buy Me the Coffee, where that site that I was showing you guys earlier. Let me show you. So it's like a little community that we can all get on here and share stuff and do stuff and talk and go back and forth. You don't have to constantly put money on here. It's not like that. But we can go in and do some posts and we can interact with each other. And I'm really, I would love it if everybody that is enjoying our content, if y'all could get on there and join. Again, it's just $1 a month. I put it as low as they let me go on it. I think we could have a good time over there. So,
Dominique, Carrie has been doing all the requesting on Sarah's case. She invited me in to talk to you all, a couple weeks ago, and has continued to invite me to be a part of it. Full transparency, this is Carrie's channel. This is Carrie's series. She has done the work on this. I just show up and talk, basically. So she's got stuff I'm sure she's ordered. But what matters is not what's happening in the jail right now. It's what is going to happen on October 7th and how we get there, and will she be successful, and what do her potential defenses look like?
Oh, what? Oh, I
I don't.
Airbnb,
Okay, Deb M. That was a theory I had, and unless you have got more concrete information, I don't know that they're going to do that. Like I said, I think it could be a red herring. I could be him saying, "Oh, look at the defense or look at the interrogation, while by the way, I'm over here doing something else." And then the state is completely blindsided. I mean, there's games involved. I don't know that they even could throw it out. I don't know that she seems intoxicated. I would be surprised if there was no alcohol in her system, but that doesn't stop her from being questioned.
Yeah, I wanted to show you guys something really quick. I don't mean to interrupt, but
Thank you,
so
Jessica.
talking about this site or whatever, it looks like a couple of you guys. I thank you, Anita, if you're still on here. So this, when you go in right here, this is where you just do a tip. This doesn't count towards a membership. It just counts. It makes you a supporter, and the $1 a month, you'd have to scroll down a little bit, and you'd have to do you join. These are the different things where you could join. So if you guys want to do that, so don't go up here thinking you're joining the membership, because that's going to be set up a little bit differently than the supporters. Memberships, you're going to get a lot more out of it than the different memberships.
LW, you'll have to wait and find out. Stay tuned, my dear. Stay tuned.
What LW?
She said, "Did I hear
Leah,
stuff at the jail edge of the seat?" I'm telling her to stay tuned. She might be surprised when this is said and done.
Leah, I'm gonna read your email tonight. I promise. My so I stayed up at the hospital a couple of nights, and it's really messed me up because I've just been it's my sleep. I haven't slept at the hospital because they come in all the time and wake you up, and then I get back home and I want to I can't go to sleep because I'm so wired. I get home at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I'll work for a little while, and it's so weird because I'm not sleepy like I usually am to go to sleep, but I try to take a nap and it doesn't do me any good. And then I feel like all day long, because usually in the morning when I wake up, I'm so productive. I get so much done. I haven't had a day like that in over a week, and it's driving me crazy.
Jeremy has a question. Does the evidence that the state has, do they have to turn it all over to the defense? They have to turn over everything that they intend to use at trial, and they have to turn over anything that might be Brady material, which means that it's exculpatory instead of inculpatory, which means that it's favorable to the defendant. It might help him with his case. And then so they also have to, if they don't do that and they willfully don't do that, that's called a giglio violation. And I'm smack dab in the middle of one of those cases that's taking up my entire apartment. There's paper everywhere. So the answer is technically yes. Do they do it? No. No, they don't. No, they don't. They're paying the prosecutors are playing fast and loose with the rules of discovery, and I'm mad about it. I'm really mad about it, and so are the cops for that matter. But that's a discussion on what they're doing and why for another day. You're welcome, Carolina.
Who's Baldwin prosecutor messes up? What is this? From Soleil?
Isn't that violation what the boss? Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Alec Baldwin.
Okay, yeah. So in that case, you're talking about what Carrie, God, I forgot her last name. What she did in that situation. Yeah, that's it. Exactly. So not only did she have evidence in her possession that she was aware of, she didn't turn it over to the other side, and knowingly didn't turn it over to the other side. So when you hear things that have all these weird names like Miranda, Brady, Giglio. Those are the names of cases. Gideon v. Wainwright was one of the major cases, and I think that one gave us, oh God, I don't remember what rule now, but I think Miranda v. Arizona got us Miranda. But all these things you hear, like Brady violation, that came out of a case that has Brady in the name somewhere. So all of the case law is being developed through sort of testing of trial outcomes. But yes, you're correct. There is that violation. She did withhold evidence. That was Brady. She did it knowingly. That she withheld it knowingly. That was Giglio. So good job. Yes. I see. Is anybody else? If Sarah testifies, will they take the stunt leg thing off? Okay, so normally in a jury trial, if somebody's going to take the stand that is in custody, what they do is the jury will be out of the courtroom. They will take the witness who usually, or the person who's on trial who has shackles on their legs, and put them up into the witness box before the jury comes in. So the jury doesn't see them walk in and see that they're, that they've got those cuffs on, or that they've got regular ankle chains on. Okay, so question, can you address the defense asking to throw out? Okay, I just answered that. That's a speculation situation. I think that's potentially a red herring. I've been looking. That's why I keep listening to the video over and over and over again. I'm trying to figure out what they're talking about, and I just don't know. State fighting defense. Yes, Alita, that's correct. They are. And we can talk about that. Bama, I am looking forward to that stream. Battered spouse, my mom. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I am so sorry to hear that. Yeah, so we want to just really do it justice. And like I said the other day, it's kind of me that's holding up the show, because I did a bunch of research and I just need to sit down and put it all together. And then Carrie's gonna do the editing and all the pretty stuff. I did a bunch of legal research, and I just need to, I collected it all. I just need to now get it put together. We like Sarah's jail gossip. Yeah, no comment.
You didn't like that, Sonata? You didn't like her straddling the bush? Come on now.
Leah, you're not irritating me. We have talked about all sorts of stuff. You're correct. However, my point is that not all information can be believed. And 2, it has no impact on the case. Absolutely no impact on the trial, on the hearings, on the case. That's just her being idiotic in the dorm. So if she's got a cheese thing, she's got a cheese thing. It makes no difference. Stuff coming in through legal mail, I would doubt it. And any attorney attempting that was willing to risk his license for Sarah Boone doesn't deserve to be licensed in the first place. So we will look at the notes. Like you said, I understand you're frustrated. I'm not. It's okay. Okay, so Justin, the answer to that and the explanation is coming very, very, very soon. I promise. I promise. I promise. Bye, Celestial Heather. Soleil Soleil. Yeah, her personal dream team. Yeah. Oh, Laura, I'm so sorry to hear that. Leah, the whole thing with Tyler does. If it doesn't have anything to do with the charges she is currently facing, if it is not in the police reports, if it does not come from police investigation, and if there are no witnesses to testify that can testify and lay the proper foundation, then it doesn't freaking matter. There will be so much stuff that gets left out. and again, that's another video we can do, is talking about what everybody else doesn't see that people like me do see. All the information that is never disclosed, all the pictures no one ever sees. There's a lot. Who will play the cheese in the documentary and what kind? Blue or Swiss?
Oh, look.
Oh, wait. Can I be Swiss? Because my brain is like Swiss cheese. You're welcome.
I gotta show y'all this. Hang on. I gotta show y'all something. I just was checking my email. Wait, first, who did this come from? This came from Ashley. Thank you, Ashley. This is the infamous. That looks like a man. That's her, a woman?
Wait, what? What is that?
Is this the infamous Sarah Boone thing?
What?
That looks like a man.
What are we looking at? What am I looking at?
Let me see what she says in here. She says, the photos found from Sarah Boone's Facebook page, they are of her son being zipped in the same suitcase, and it's Brian standing. Oh, it's Brian standing over the child, and Sarah is taking a picture.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
They're hard to see, so because they're blurred, but I thought you might. Thank you, Ashley. That looks awfully skinny to be Brian.
Okay, MRCR 45. You asked, somebody else asked that, or maybe you did, about the trial length. I don't know what it means over under for betting purposes, but this trial will not take 3 weeks. I'll be shocked if we go to 2. I really do. It depends on whether the defense actually puts up a defense. The state's case is going to be pretty straightforward, and I expect it not to take very long. Jury selection may take a day and a half. Sometimes the judge will release court for the day and you come back, you need to do openings first thing in the morning. State's case goes first. Defense is allowed to put on a case if they want to. A lot of times they don't, which is very normal. And so when both parties have rested, then the case goes to the jury and they go to deliberate. So I don't know how to bet. I don't know your odds. But I don't think it's going to be nearly as long as the government says it is. I was booked in for a 10-week federal trial that was done in 2.5, which kind of made me mad because the federal courts pay really well. Let's see. Okay, I don't understand that one. I know Carrie's getting tired. I just want to see if there's anything else on here that I can answer. I'm thinking he wants all the videos thrown out. Oh, of course. Of course, April. That's their whole freaking case. That's their whole case. They're going to move heaven and earth to try to get that out. Leah.
No way, though.
We are reading the inmate notes that are posted weekly. There's nothing different about it. As I said, we will read the inmate notes. It's a magic show, sleight of hand.
Well, no, they're not posting the inmate notes on the docket anymore. We got to go to the jail now to get them. Because now that she has an attorney, they don't have to do that. They don't have to do the weekly reports to the judge anymore.
Leah, I'm sorry you're feeling as though you are misunderstood. We will read the inmate notes.
All right, we're all getting tired. I'm sleepy, y'all. I lost my attention span about 30 minutes ago. I can't help it. I can't help it. Thanks for sticking on with us for so long. I think I'm gonna clip that interview we did with Tyler.
Sure.
And put it in a separate video. Maybe put it out either tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow evening might be good.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I liked him. He actually was. He was very genuine. I liked him. So hopefully we'll hear more from him.
Right. Exactly.
Thank you all so much. And if any of you guys see Miss Barbara in a chat anywhere, will you please tell her I'm worried about her and I would like to hear from her? I think I emailed her. Y'all have a wonderful Saturday evening and a blessed Sunday. And we will talk to you very, very, very soon. Bye. Sam, stay on for a second. Don't get off, Sam.
Oh,
I'm going to end the stream. Hang on. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to like and subscribe on your way out, and feel free to leave a comment. Have a blessed day.